Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to United Team Talk. You know what it is? It's the Sleeping Giants Podcast EP4. I'm here with the gang. I've got Rick, Jax, Az, and Daniel in the building. Before we begin, though, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. There's a lot to get through today, and yeah, man, this should be a tasty one. Obviously, if you guys saw the previous Az in the chat and the Jax fan before, we got two of them live in the flesh today. So yeah, before we get started, like I said, smash that subscribe button and let's get right into the video. Okay, as the Arsenal fans are the guests, obviously we're going to start with them. We just want to get you guys' reaction on the 0-0 Chelsea vs United yesterday. I mean, you guys seen our reaction on the post-match reaction yesterday. So yeah, Dan, we're gonna start with you, man. Another 0-0 against the top six from Man United. Another ball fest, another referee decision. Like, what did you make of that game, man?
It was boring. I was bored for a long time. But you know what? Yeah, I thought Chelsea was gonna have their little manager bounce and kind of just get one over on you lot just on an easy thing, to be honest, just because of that manager bounce. But I think all the same, like, again, your record against the top six kind of speaks for itself, innit? It's like we kind of know what you lot are going to do. We know what we're going to get. It's going to be like a 0-0 back. It could have been, I think it could have gone anyway, even if you didn't have as much chances, I think you should have. I still think it was that kind of game where it's like you score a goal and you win the game, innit? But no one was just trying to go for the chance. Like when I watch, even when I'm watching the highlights, I'm like, you lot didn't even have much of a shout. Like it was pretty dry. That's all I can say. Really.
And obviously the big talking point, I want to get your take on it. The handball, fam. Like, was it a penalty or was it harsh? Like, what was your thinking on that?
I don't know. It's a difficult one because again, this whole inconsistency with the handball rule kind of messes it up. But man, it hit his hand. Like it hit his hand. Like and they had this whole thing of the shirt rule.
Yeah.
Like if it's not on the sleeve, cool. Like if it was that, then cool. Maybe you don't give it. But I think in that instance, you got to kind of give it because it hit his hand, and that's the rule, isn't it? So if we're not moving on that, then what is it?
Yeah, that's good to hear, even though it doesn't help us. But yeah, as another neutral watching the game, I know your brother supports Chelsea.
Yeah.
How did you find that game? I know it was boring, but was it a boring 0-0? Was it like two tactical teams, the battle of the systems, as Jax would say?
Yeah, I don't know what systems Jax is talking about, but when it comes to watching the game, at the beginning, and even like in the second half at the beginning as well, what I quite liked from just as a neutral standpoint, Chelsea's passing of the ball was so crisp. Like when they were passing it, it was so crisp. And I was thinking a couple of times when they were passing it, I was thinking, yo, these passes are like a bit too hard. They're moving it a bit too fast. But you can see like there was progression that they want. There were times where they passed you, man. They passed your midfield, and they actually let your midfield reset because they have a structured way of actually progressing the ball up the pitch. So they didn't even want to get in behind like that, behind your midfield and like start. You see like a 4-on-3 come about, or you see like a 5-on-4, and they let your midfield reset, and they're coming back again, going through their patterns. Like it was from like tactically, from them it was good. From you lot, what I saw was that you lot were trying to press. It wasn't that. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes it wasn't that good. I don't think Chelsea found it too hard. The fact that Rudiger had a good game means that your press wasn't that good.
Yeah, you see that Rudiger thing. Are you on the same boat? You don't rate him.
No, he's good. I think he's good, and he's better than Zuma on the ball. But he's still not. I still wouldn't be confident in him having the ball so close to his goal. Like no. He's good, but he's not that kind of like comfortable on the ball kind of thing. So the fact that he was able to like easily just drive through your midfield, drive through the press, bro. He didn't even pass through the press. Like he took the ball with him through your press a couple times. Like the fact that means your press wasn't good at all. So I think defensively, you lot were good. Going forward, again, I've said this so many times. I don't know how many times I need to say it. You don't have a consistent way of creating chances on the regular basis, which is again what a system and a manager gives you. And I've said it to. I was watching the stream yesterday. I was getting so annoyed, and I felt sorry for Rick because
wait! Don't open up the fibers just yet, just yet. Just give me your reaction to the handball as well, just quickly. Like, what do you think?
That's another one.
Yeah,
the handball. I think early in the season, because a lot of us are looking at it as based on the new rules they implemented, and a lot of what we saw given earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And based on what we saw given early on the season, that's a penalty every day.
Yeah.
Halfway through, they actually changed it, and since then, you haven't seen those kind of penalty decisions being given. Like a lot of the time, I'll see something, I'll be like, "Oh, hit his hand straight away." Okay, cool, that's what they give now.
Yeah.
But they actually changed it halfway through because they clocked it was dumb.
Yeah.
And so, based on the change, it's not a penalty. If you're going to talk about, oh well, they've given it in the past, so 2 wrongs will make it right. If they should keep making the wrong decision, then yeah, fair enough. But I don't think that's how the world really works. Like, if it's right, then give it as right. If it's wrong, don't give it, kind of thing.
Okay, Jax, just gonna come to you quickly. This record against the Big Six, man. Like today, I've seen the stat. We've played, was it 6 games? We've drawn 5. We played 7, drawn 5, lost 2. I know a positive. I keep saying the positive I can take from is at least we got clean sheets in our last 5, but we're not scoring goals, man. Like this is mad from last year when we was beating the Big Six, and this year it's like what's going on?
Yeah, everything you just described is exactly it. I think there's an opportunity cost. Something has to give for something to work, and I think I said it last episode that last season the reason why our results against the Big Six were good was because we had a system that was set up to defend and to hit teams on a counter, which suited the players that we had. And unfortunately, this season we can't do that because Man United don't demand a better way of playing rather than sitting back and attacking. And unfortunately, whilst we're trying to do that, it doesn't work with the players that we have. I don't think we've got the quality players to do that, especially from the defense. For example, as we're saying something about Chelsea and the way they were playing crisp as real. I was watching, I was like, wow, we're trying to press and they're beating the press very well.
Yeah, I remember that.
I said it to you when I was watching that. And I looked at it again, as you know, I like to analyze football, and I realized it's the player. I looked at Kovacic, it's quality.
He's quality.
Kovacic, I said that is quality. And then I looked at Kovacic, and then I compared that to Scott McTominay and Fred. And then it made sense. And this is why I'm really frustrated when we talk. We mentioned just the system. Is it not obvious? Like, look at what Kovacic was doing, how comfortable he was. There were situations where Chelsea found themselves a couple of days ago, yesterday, where we found ourselves that we would have never got out of that with Scott McTominay and Fred and Wan-Bissaka. You compare Wan-Bissaka to Chilwell and other guys, it just doesn't work. So
Van de Beek could have done that.
Van de Beek could have, yeah. But as I said, I think the issue with Man United is we're trying to give one thing for another. So whilst we have an attack, our defense is, which is for me the biggest issue at the club, is being looked after too much, which is why we forgo an attack and have Fred and Scott trying to protect Lindelof and Maguire. I think the only issue that Ole is killing me with is why he doesn't play Bale.
Yeah, good points made there. Rick, it looks like we were talking earlier about the XG and the created chances and whatnot. Do tactics have to change for us to beat? But we beat them last year. That's the thing. Is like, what do we do now? Because we got City on Sunday. Like, what tactic do we go with, or do we still sit back with the defense we have? Like, what do we do, man?
Like, we know that City have better personnel than us on the pitch. So player for player, they're better than us. Tactically, they're better than us. So we have to pull something out of the bag. You know, when Oli first joined us, he understood this. In the big games, he came up with creative ways to beat teams that are better than us. And that's the only way he's going to do that. That's why we haven't beaten the top 6, because he's creative. I don't know if he's creative, if he's lost it, or I don't know if he's not as confident in the plays he has as he used to be.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon the 6-1? Remember the 6-1 against Tottenham? I think that's hurt him. Like it's stung him.
I said this. Remember, I said this, guys. That changed his mindset. That's why scoring for play so often.
That, but if Oli is a manager that cares about the badge more than he cares about himself, he'll take the risks. Does that make sense? If he's just trying to do self-preservation, then he will continue to play it safe. So, and the thing is that we all know, especially you and I, Jerry, we know that Oli says one thing to the public, but his actions don't back it.
I'll say he's a liar, top class liar, bro.
So I don't really know what to say with that, but I think Oli has to literally come out with some type of different way of playing. If that's a back five against Man City, if it's a diamond, if it's split strikers, he needs to do something like that. He needs to find a way of exploiting their weaknesses, because obviously even top teams, no matter how good they are against us, they're going to play slightly deeper. I don't think people mentioned that Chelsea played quite deep against us in that game.
I was about to say, people don't mention the other team, like when we played this. United didn't break, but what did Chelsea do? Like, really?
Well, I was going to say that, but I didn't open the cans.
A couple times they broke it down, bro.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but people also need to talk that we are the biggest club in the UK. So of course the narrative is going to be, what did I not do? Of course.
Yeah. Big news.
Wait, Jerry, very quickly.
So we sell the most papers. We're clickbait. We're clickbait, innit? So of course it's gonna be like, what did United do? You know what Chelsea?
As that was funny.
when it comes to, you lot always talk about your defense, and I was thinking, man for man, when I look at the defense, the defenders in there, when you put them together, you can actually, like Kwan was talking so much sense yesterday. I was saying this to Rick. I got annoyed watching the stream yesterday because there were two sensible people talking sense. Like, they listened to the points that were said on the other side, and they rebutted it, and the other side just said the same thing over and over again. And I was like, you guys aren't listening. When it comes specifically to your defense, if I name one, like name by name, Man City's defense, okay, Zinchenko, defensively not great. Cancelo, defensively not great. John Stones, defensively not very good. But look at their record in the past 20 games. We talk about Man City being, oh yeah, there's great team. They've just got players. We need players. When you look at them defensively, look at their backline. Tell me their backline is good. Man for man, tell me
they really have to defend because the team keep possession of the most of the time.
They've created a system whereby those players don't get found out. Promise you, if you watch Zinchenko one-on-one, he's awful. But Cancelo was known in Europe for being excellent going forward. He was the other right back that City had, and they swapped for Cancelo.
Oh, Danilo.
Him and Danilo, they're known in Europe for being great going forward and rubbish going backwards. It's known, but they have a system. It's again what Jack says. Players with obvious weaknesses and obvious strengths. They have obvious weaknesses and obvious strengths. It's not always that you always need great defenders or great players in your team. You need a system to allow them to play well. And that's what you see City do. That's what Leicester do. That's what Aston Villa do. That's what almost every single team in the league that's trying to do well does. But
I agree. As yeah, I mean they do, but they're all behind us though. But anyway, what I would say, I'm just saying they're all behind on it. But what I would say is, no, it's facts. When I say facts, it's facts.
I'm not dismissing.
It's facts. They're all behind us, and we've still scored more goals than all of them. Facts.
Yeah, but why is that? Why have we scored more goals than them?
I'm just saying. Let me.
I'm asking
my case.
You claim to be this football head of knowledge.
I'm not. You said something, and I'm responding, and you're not letting me finish.
All right, Jack. Before you go, let me just read this comment. We got Amori, the legend of Bob, in the chat. He says, Oli said in the 21st of April, I'm going to be successful here, and some players won't be part of that successful team. No success for Man United since that statement. Few players that have left early already with trophies. Yeah, I agree with that, but he did need to get rid of a lot of players, man, like the Smallings, the Sanchez's, the Youngs, the Lukaku's, like Fellaini. Like he did get rid of some of the dead wood, as we would like to say. But yeah, they're man are winning trophies, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. But yeah, Jack's going with your.
Cool. So I started my analysis, my thesis to say, first and foremost, all the teams you've mentioned as are all behind us. Secondly, we have scored more goals than them. And thirdly,
Conceded
I would like to
more.
say, I was about to get to that. So, so we talked about City having a system that works for the team. They've had that system for quite a while, and they've had to develop that system for many years, and it works. They keep possession. They really have to defend. That's the fact of the matter, right? And I genuinely believe that Ole has tried to find a system that works for the players that he has. Again, where I disagree with Ole is the fact that he didn't. He's missing a trick by not playing back. I think that's the big issue. I agree that he's not doing the best managerial job there because Bailly solves a lot of.
You can play one DM as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because Bailly solves a lot of the problems. So I agree with that. That's why I agree that Ole's not a great coach. But I do think he has tried to create somewhat of a system to solve the issue that he has, which he probably recognized clearly when we found Maguire getting found out every other game, kind of thing, which is why Scott McTominay and Fred have come in. I think Ricky said that, and you say it, and I agree. You say Ricky said it, I says it, Kwan says it, and I agree. And I think what I'm trying to say is, yes, you can, as a great manager, you can create systems or kind of balance players out to say if this guy's slow, then this guy's fast, they can work together as a pair, or create a system that works for the players. I think what I said people missed yesterday was, I think the players that we have, apart from Bailly, it still doesn't really solve. It does. I don't think it really. I think the weaknesses are too strong. It doesn't really solve the issues. I think Maguire is too slow. That even if you have Bailly, Maguire's still going to get found out one-on-one sometimes. And I also think that Wan-Bissaka is so bad on the ball. No matter how many times you try to fix it, he's always going to kill our way of playing out from the back. So someone will say, "Why do you stop playing out from the back?" But it's difficult. Like, I think it's so difficult. I think the obvious weaknesses that I keep mentioning are too big. The magnitude's too high.
If they're too big, how is it that this centre back that you bought for 80 million was able to win?
It was a mistake.
Now, how was he able to win? How were they able to win the Prem with him as their centre back?
No. He wasn't there, bro. Don't try it.
Where was he in that season?
He was a Hull City, fam.
It was a Hull.
Are you trying it, fam?
That's a good point.
Come with the stats, bro. That's it.
He wasn't there. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Come out the stream, man. Come out the stream.
He deserves to come out the stream for that. All jokes aside.
Wait. Let me just.
I understand your point. And the truth is, he could have been there. He probably was better than what was there then. He probably was better than who was it? Huth. It was Huth and Morgan, right? He probably is better than both of them, and the system would have probably worked for him because he had Kante and Drinkwater in front of him. But Man United will never allow to play a full season like Leicester did. And that's the issue. And that's what I tried to say earlier, that when Ole first came, he was playing like Leicester. He was playing just like Leicester. But he had to change it because, unfortunately, in the transition, Man United can't sit back and attack. We have to attack. And I just feel like the defense issue needs to get fixed. Once that's fixed, then we can only move forward. I think the issue with defense is too bad.
So I mentioned the system issue, and sorry, Rick, before you guys. I mentioned the system issue, and you said, well, all these teams used to have so-called systems. We have more goals than them, and we're sitting above them in the league, as though that's proof that the players are more important, or that Ollie's like doing something that, or this system isn't as important. Whereas I could very easily just say to you, actually, no, your players have been carrying, like your players, Bruno, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for this specific player coming up in scoring these goals in crucial moments, if it wasn't for Pogba scoring goals that no one else, if he took that shot again, the keeper would probably save. If it wasn't for these things happening, then you probably wouldn't want. So you trying to say, oh, well, we're second here, so that point doesn't make sense. You can't use that because there might be another reason that you're not using to actually explain that. But anyway,
the players. You
I'd like to build on your point. I'd like to build on Azraya's point. So I agree with Azraya, and to put what Jack said into context, I'm just gonna say a couple things for you, basically. Well, Man City has actually created the most scoring chances inside of the league. Okay, so they've actually Man City created the most goal scoring chances in. They have the highest XG. Okay, Manchester City's XG is around about 53. Okay, Manchester United's is 44. There's no way on planet Earth that we should be top goal scorers in the league. The only reason why we are top goal scorers in the league is because our players have outperformed their XG, meaning that regardless of what situation they've been in, they've scored goals from potentially low quality chances.
Yeah.
Which means that the system they've been put in isn't a system that actually creates chances. In terms of chance creation, we're probably like third in the league.
Third.
We're third in the league in terms of chance creation. We're third in the league. We're below Liverpool.
Not fifth, not sixth, no system, but third.
Just carried the free, boy.
I'm an analyst, so I like to analyze things.
You know,
I see it.
Trust me, I don't have.
I'm just letting you guys know that we've outperformed. I'm just not finished yet. I'm just letting you know that we've outperformed the XG by 8 goals, which is the most in the league. That shows that our players are actually the most clinical and the best at scoring goals from low, scoring up low chance positions, basically. So
yeah.
Exactly. So if you actually think of it like that, we've all been saying blame the players. Just
blame the defenders.
The attackers that we're not really happy with, Martial, he's actually underperformed his XG by only 2 goals. So has Greenwood. To put that into context, De Bruyne has underperformed his XG by 5 goals.
Yeah.
He's still scored 8 goals, he's only scored 3. And Man City are still happy with De Bruyne. I know De Bruyne does bring more context.
Because XG is not
that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah, XG is not fundamental analysis.
He's missed like 3 pens. He's missed like 3 pens or something like that. So
yeah,
that's big chances. So
I guess
what I'm trying to say to you is that the actual scope, where scope can be made in terms of going forward, a lot of scope can be made. Imagine if we created as many chances as Man City's or Liverpool's. Imagine
you have to do it against the people you're around, not the people who, as Jack said, are all below.
And to just focus on the personnel and bringing in like a Haaland or Mbappe or that type of player, like that's gonna score 20 or 30 goals a season and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think we should be focusing on that, man. We should be focusing on just creating more chances.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I agree.
Maybe we should be focusing on bringing in players that are better creativity wise. Like a player that can create from the right wing, a striker that can knit up play like a Harry Kane, etc., etc. But when I hear Man United fans talking about bringing in players, the type of players you guys want to bring in do not fit our team. So I just laugh at you, man.
Ricky, so you say you, man. I think you see. This is what I say to people. Could you please listen when I talk? Please listen to exactly what I'm saying. Please.
No, but I'm about the point that you made that we scored the most goals in the league, so we're amazing going forward.
I didn't say that. I didn't.
Yes, that's what you said. We scored the most goals in the league, so we're ahead of all them, man. So we can't.
No. You see, this is what I'm saying. You don't listen.
No, wait. Let me moderate. He was just stating facts.
This is why I get frustrated. No one even listens.
No, but he knows what he was implying, bro. He knows what he was implying.
Hold on, can I jump in, Jerry? Yeah?
What I'm saying
is Ricky, what I'm implying is if we're first, we can't be that bad. That's what I was implying.
Yeah, that's actually built from the back.
I'm not
built from the back.
And I think Daniel is the only one listening. Everything you've just said,
just quiet.
Makes a lot of sense. No, listen, bro. Let me finish.
More goals than City.
But he's saying that. He's saying that because your attack is not your issue at the moment. If you're scoring more goals than City,
thank you.
You need to build from the back.
Players, I have Ricky. You have
my point negates that. My point I made negates that attacking is an issue in our team.
That's my point. I agree that attacking is the issue, but what I'm trying to say,
issue, bro.
Ricky, pause. Listen to what I'm saying. That attack is an issue, but what I've been trying to say is the reason why the attack is the issue is because of the opportunity cost of our defense. That's what I've been trying to say for so long. I think our defense is so crap. Oh gosh, I think our defense is so crap. The fact that we have to play Fred and Scott is why we don't create many chances. That's what I'm trying to say.
But
the fact that we don't play.
I'm explaining to you why that's not the case.
Come on, guys.
I explained to you in the last stream why that's not the case, fam.
Well, okay. I mean, then we can
explain to you that Man United attack with the most players in the league.
Not the best players.
The most players in the league. We only keep 3 players behind the ball.
What's going on? Yo, what's going on,
bro? I think they're both in the same house.
Yeah,
but we're all in the same house.
Man, they got blacked out.
What, light off or something?
Yo,
Yeah. Yo, your camera's on
Hey,
fam.
True. But either way.
Daniel, what you doing, man? We're trying to. You're talking like you're some Man U fan. Like, what's going on?
What's going? Who, me?
Yeah, fam. What you doing?
Oh no, don't get me started here, man. I'm neutral here, man. Just chilling, killing back. I'm just listening to these lot, but it
Like,
makes sense, doesn't it? Because
Let me tell you guys
they are.
what I told you yesterday, fam.
Huh?
Say that
Yeah.
again?
That was basically saying how the way we attack, basically, because we have to keep Scott and Fred, it's an opportunity cost. We can't attack, basically. And I just said that Chelsea only attack with 5 players. There are 5 players behind the ball, and there are 5 players that go ahead of the ball. Yeah, Man City only attack with 6 max. Okay. Liverpool attack with 6 max as well. We attack with 7, and we still can't create any chances, bro. So I don't see any opportunity cost because you see Scott going forward, you see Fred going scored. It's just that
No, but I guess you improve them, you get more chances. Man. If you have better midfielders, that aren't Scott and Fred, then your chances will be worth more now.
But Dan, remember what I said at the beginning, where Man City, when I named their defenders one by one,
Yeah,
they're not good defenders.
On paper, it's a thing where you think.
Them are good defenders.
But I think it's even the same with us as well. There's only so far you can go with certain man, innit?
I get you, but like that's the whole point of the manager. Like on their own credit, there is only so much they can do, which is why they need a system to be able to help them.
I agree, because I don't think he works to their strengths. He just plays what he thinks works in the Premier League and says, "You man do it," and they're not really that capable of that.
Yo, Dan, if you watch United, you actually watch United, fam. You know the player that spends the most time in the right half space for United?
Wan-Bissaka.
Is that one? Yeah, well, I see him with his Spider-Man legs. I see the guy spread out, spinning.
Why would you put Wan-Bissaka there? Why? How is
it's because that's generally how football is played. You expect like
exactly
right back to just do it over because there's no structure. Like when I see that, I can see very, very easily that it's just Wan-Bissaka's. I don't even think Wan-Bissaka's been told, because that would actually make Ollie an idiot, and I don't think he's that stupid. I don't think Wan-Bissaka's been told, yeah, do that overlap, take this space, make these, and like do the stupidness that he's been doing. I think he's just trying to play football, and that's what he thinks is the best.
What does a right back do? Oh,
yeah, like overlap, and this is the kind of movements and places that should be taken up. That's what I think. If Ollie's been telling him to do that, then Ollie's way worse than I think he is, because I don't think he's that stupid.
Well, if
he's been telling him, man.
And maybe the back 3 or supplement the midfield and become, I don't know, create like a double pivot and let one of the other midfielders go forward, then you'd see that, bro. So Ollie's obviously given the remit to go forward. Maybe I haven't been specific in how we should go forward and attack, which is even poorer. But
has he though? Because Luke Shaw's doing fine.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Just saying.
Luke Shaw's doing fine on the other side, bro. So what's my man doing?
Daniel, is because the player Luke Shaw is playing better than the player Wan-Bissaka.
Right.
That's all it is.
From what Luke Shaw to be told to do different roles.
Exactly.
No?
Of course.
I don't like when you guys say facts and think a fact negates my point, because it doesn't.
No, but what I'm saying is, I would think Ollie has the tactical nous to know that if he could do that with Shaw, he'll know to do the right thing on the other side with a different player. I just don't get it.
Because Luke Shaw has been that bad as well before. Luke Shaw has been as bad as Wan-Bissaka.
It's instructions, bro. So you give Luke Shaw instructions.
But that's what I'm talking about, the instructions to the player.
Obviously, the player needs certain attributes to carry out that instruction.
But exactly what Az is saying, he needs obviously to adapt to the player's strengths, and not try to shine on the weaknesses. So if you know that he has weaknesses, you should adapt his game the same way you've adapted Luke Shaw's to hide his weaknesses. I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm not disagreeing. Like,
the whole point is Jax is just going to be like, no, he's a good He's not a good enough player. So forget anything that Oli needs to do. We need a new player to come and
No,
sit
you got to
where
keep
Wan-Bissaka
him now. You paid too much money.
so that we can do better. And we're saying,
what did I miss? What did I miss? Sorry, guys.
I think if we do have a better right back, a better attacking right back, it'll be better for Man United. Yeah.
Jax, you can have cool.
Yo,
If you had a better striker, that'd be the case. If you had a better right winger, that'd be the case. If you had a better
what I said earlier,
CDM, that'd be the case. If you had a better keeper, if you had a better player in every single position, that would be the case.
Yeah,
What
you'd
kind
be great.
the argument you're making doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because you're not listening. Don't talk like I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I know exactly what I'm saying. I'm not stupid. I'm not just saying unsensible things. What I'm saying, okay. What did it do? If it doesn't make sense to you, I don't care.
Hey, guys,
those that will listen and try to understand and know that I don't chat shit and I'm not a stupid person. What I'm saying is that if we had a better attacking right back, I would think that would solve a huge issue with our back four. I think our back four have huge, obvious weaknesses. So if you want to adjust for Wan-Bissaka's weakness, it's going to affect another player because his weakness can't cover it. That's what I'm trying to say. If you want to adjust for Maguire's weakness, the only thing I think could work is if Bailly plays. But even then, I think the weakness is so bad. That even if I adjust it, it's just going to cause another weakness. It's almost like one of those jigsaws that if you fix one thing, you're going to cause another thing. That's what I think. How do I know? Because the weakness is so bad. The weakness is extremely bad.
If you try and fix it for him, then it'll be.
That's what I believe. I think he's that bad. I think he's that bad on the ball.
I get that, and what I'm trying to say is the fact that you don't know for sure is the problem because no one has actually said, okay, cool. There are two solutions to this. Either we buy a new player or we implement a system, and you have done none of them.
Neither, yeah.
That is, bro, Jax, you're not stupid, Jax. If there are two solutions to a problem,
are you talking about the Wan-Bissaka solution, the problem, or the whole team's problem? Which one?
No. So you're saying, right, that Wan-Bissaka is a problem, and I agree with you.
Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof,
all those players
as a unit,
is
a problem, including the head behind.
I agree with that. I agree with that. So if I came in right now and I saw that team and those players,
what would you do?
I'm saying, these players, they've got these obvious weaknesses.
Yes.
There are two ways to solve that problem.
Yes. A system of
players.
Yes.
Or you implement a system that will help them.
Yes.
Now, given the constraints that you have, number one, with money, right? Number one, with time. So you tried, I don't really know if you tried to solve it at the beginning of the season with players, but given that you haven't done that, would it not make sense then since you can't bring in players now and you can't bring in players till summer, like would it not make sense to implement some kind of system to actually fix it rather than just leave it and be like, well, they're not good enough, we need players, so let's just wait until we can get players. That's why Fred has got players. You as a smart person wouldn't do that, bro.
That's why Fred has got players. He played Scott and Fred to adjust the system to fit some of that weakness. I don't know what else I need to say. I don't know what else I need to say. Fred and Scott play every single game now to try and solve that weakness. That is a system change. I don't like whoa. And that's why Daniel. That's why because I know Daniel listens. That's why last season we were banning because it wasn't Fred and Scott every single game. It wasn't Fred and Scott every single game. This season it's Scott and Fred every single game against the big teams, and that's what we're not creating. Yes, you could. Anyway, I don't even know what to say. That's a fact.
I'll go after you.
Rick, you got your hand up. Go on, bro.
I understand what Jax is saying, but let's talk about Scott and Fred's role in our team and whether they actually are effective at doing their role in our team. Let's discuss that.
That's true.
Let's discuss that. So let's first try to actually understand what are the roles of Fred and Scott in our team. Now, I'll go first. Yeah, you have a turn. I'll go first. I think Fred's job is to provide dynamism and athleticism to help cover the space in front of Maguire. I think that's his job. Yeah. And I think Scott's job is just to win second balls. I don't think it's any more elaborate than that. And that's shockingly basic, if you ask me. You guys have a go.
I can't, Jack.
No, someone else can go first. I'm making notes.
Yeah, who could disagree with that?
I think them two. For Scott and Fred, I think they're just there. What Rick basically said, like
I think,
bro.
Yeah, I don't know, Rick, if you said this because I wasn't paying attention.
Fred's got the pass on him, and Scott's just there for the rough and tough. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he gets about. I mean, he can pop up with a goal when he has the license to go forward, but. Yeah, they're supposed to create a shield for the back two which I don't think they do that well. I mean,
I don't think they even. I think not. I don't think they're there to create a shield because of their skill set. It's more because he just wants two. Because if you've got more people in front of it, then it's not because of their skill set. I think what he's done when you see Man U play, Scott is the one who comes to get the ball off the back four. Fred is the one who pressures off when you lot don't have the ball. That's the dichotomy. When you look at City, they don't have good defensive DMs, but you got like Rodri.
Rodri's cold.
Rodri, at the beginning of the season, I promise you, no one was saying at the beginning of the season.
Fernandinho's one of the best DMs that's played in the Premier
Sometimes
League.
Gundogan plays DM. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, they he's created a system, right, that's actually helps them. And I get what you're saying. Like, these players are not good enough.
Man City's players are quality that can do the job that Pep wants them to do. Not everyone can do it. That's why he gets rid of players as well.
And I get you.
Thank you very much.
I agree with that for Man U as well. But I'm just saying, like, when it's very clear that there are two solutions that will work, and you can't try the other one, or you haven't tried either of them,
I agree with that, as because like I keep saying to my bro, I say Van der Beek, I think we're missing a trick with him. I know Rick, you say you can't play CM, but I think he can. Like, to receive the ball on a half turn, that's baby food to him. Like, we're scoring
I said he can't play CM in our current system.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. It always goes back to that.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, quickly, then move on to
repeat what Fred and Scott's role is.
So I said Fred's job is just really to kind of like shield in front of Maguire, add that mobility, so in transitions maybe we're not caught as easy because he's very mobile, can get to the ball. And Scott's main role is maybe to win second balls and first balls in midfield and give us that physical presence. And those are them. Yeah. Their main two jobs. Of course, they're there to try to protect in front of the two center backs, but they're not very good at it.
Yeah, I don't think they're great at it either. But I don't think they're great at it either. But I think that they are unfortunately the best of a bad bunch. I think they play to try and create a system to help two very bad defenders, in my opinion, Maguire and Lindelof. And what I would say is last season when we were scoring goals, it wasn't Scott and Fred, was it? It was Matic and Pogba. Right or wrong? Matic is Matic still as good as he used to be, or is he losing his legs? Would you agree that he's lost his legs?
Yeah, he's getting on a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Would you agree that Pogba is defensively one of the worst midfielders of all time?
Terrible.
Yeah? Okay. So you can't play Pogba, and you can't play Pogba, especially with Matic, because Matic is losing his legs and Pogba is defensively very unaware. So what other midfielders are at the club? Fred and Scott.
Mata and...
Sorry?
You're saying midfielders. Which midfielders?
No, Mata plays on the right. He doesn't play midfield. Does not play midfield.
No, Jack, you're asking which...
He does not. He has not played midfield for at least 8 years.
Jack's wait.
Even at Chelsea, he played on the right.
Jack's wait. You're asking which midfielders...
questions, bro. I think you should be asking.
You can still play Cam.
Yeah, that's it.
Instead of asking what other players can play in double pivot, maybe the question is what other options
are there to play
better? Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what you should be asking, and I can give you an answer.
Okay, but I'm asking based on Ole's system.
Okay,
yeah, the thing that you lot said that he doesn't have. I'm telling you, the players that he wants to use for his system. And his system last season that was working and beating teams. Wait, let me finish. His system that he was using last season that was beating the top 6 teams with Matic and Pogba is no longer working. And he recognized that this season when we were leaking goals. And so he's trying to adjust the system with Scott and Fred, which some people will say is not working, right? And yes, I think we have forgone, and I keep saying we have forgone the attacking and the goals and that kind of stuff, even though our players are doing their best and they're definitely getting us goals, which shows that it's somewhat actually working, right? I think it's actually working. We're still second in the league. Yes, we're not being a big team, but I think he's just adjusted the system. And unfortunately, that's what we have. We've got Scott and Fred. That's the role of Scott and Fred, to do what Pogba and Matic can't do to protect the centre-backs. Which is why I keep going back.
Especially if you actually look at statistically, we shouldn't be second in the league. So you had I
totally disagree with that whole statistically we should be in the league. I totally disagree with that. Statistically, Leicester should have not won the league.
They should have.
Statistically, Arsenal aren't.
Statistically, a team who scores 100%. Yeah.
Statistically, we're going in the top 4, mate.
Yes, that's
totally statistically. It has to be looked at holistically. It has to be looked at holistically. I understand that we have to look at it holistically. So statistically, someone someone who's got 100% record can take one shot, score one, and that's 100%. That's what I'm trying to say. Statistic has to be looked at. Statistics has to be looked at holistically. And what I'm saying. During contest, I'm about to get there. If you listen, you won't be responding with this. What I'm saying, yes, our XG.
One guy can score.
Let's go to let people finish before you respond with something that doesn't even make sense. Okay, as I was saying, our XG, you said, is one of the best, right? And statistically, it shouldn't work, but it is one of the best. The fact is, it's one of the best, and it's working. And we're still scoring goals, and we're still got the most goals. So if you're someone who's looking at that and saying, actually, all right, we're not creating as many chances, but we're still scoring a lot of goals, is that a bad thing? Is that actually a bad thing?
Can I say something?
Wait. Is it really a bad thing? And you ask me if we're happy with being second. I've always said, wait to the end of the season to see what happens. Then you can make a full judgment.
Can I say something?
We're fifth on XG4 versus XG against. We're fifth. We shouldn't be top. We shouldn't be second.
Can I say something?
We are though.
Oh, guys.
Let's do some statistical analysis. Let's do statistical analysis and see who should have won the Champions League, who should have won the Premier League in 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. XG.
You see that XG? Obviously, that new Opta stat with XG. Going through football, you see the XG? Does it?
But it didn't happen, bro.
Let me do that analysis. Let me go do my dissertation. Let me do some scholastic data analysis to see if the XG of 1999 to 2021, if the XG should have won the Premier League. Let's go and look.
Okay, wait.
Let's go and look.
I expected 10 goals, but I scored 5, you know.
Wins the league. Generally speaking, most chances I can see the least wins the league. That.
Okay, wait.
I'm giving you homework. Go do some XG analysis.
Wait. Okay, Jack. The problem I have with I'll address this stats issue because stats are only records of events that have actually happened. So it's not something fake that's been made up. It's just people have counted up what's happened in the past and just showing it to you in percentage form. That's all it is. But anyway, why I have a problem with what you're saying is you're saying, well, based on the fact that we're scoring these amount of goals and we're this level in the table, you're saying that's evidence that you're creating enough chances or your attack is all right. Am I correct in saying that?
No, I was trying to use it as a fact that if
okay, so
better,
based on where we are in the league, based on the goals that we scored, our attack is not as bad as people make it sound.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I'm saying that even though those are the stats, you're drawing the wrong conclusion from them. Because
what's your conclusion?
Your conclusion that your attack isn't as bad as people say. That's your conclusion.
What's your conclusion?
I'm saying that no, your attack is as bad as what you say, and those stats are different, are separate from what you're actually achieving. For example, I'll give you an analogy. If Usain Bolt is in a race, and I see him like 2 or 3 months before he goes on the race, and he's not training at all. Comes in the race, breezes it, and he's because he's talented, he's first, and he comes first in every race. I wouldn't then be like, if I'm Usain Bolt, thinking, yeah, training is the method. Not training is the method for me to actually go and win, because I did it and I won, and hence because I didn't train, that's the reason why I won. No, there are many different reasons why you'd be winning points and picking them up. You can't just say, oh yeah, because this is the most obvious one that we see, then that must be it. There are many different reasons, and for you to just jump to that conclusion is the problem that I have.
I haven't jumped. I said it's not as bad. So based on your analogy, what if you said done the same thing the next season and still won the race again, and then again?
If he did it multiple times, then he's just
So what if he did it? What if he did it one season and he finished third in the race, and then the next race he finished second, and then the next race he finished first? Would you say his tactics is totally wrong?
Yeah, if he then finished first, I'd be like, oh, then he's
right. Okay, so when I say let's wait to the end of the season to see what happens, because we finished third and now we're second.
No, so you can wait.
Does it make more sense to you?
No. I've never said it doesn't make sense. I'm saying you're drawing the wrong.
No, we need to move on, fam. That's what I say. You guys are saying 1 hour. We're 45 minutes through, fam. I was still a Man United, fam.
Really quick, yeah. As Ryan says, that Usain Bolt has not trained to win this race. Yeah. Now, Jack is saying
that's an extreme example, by the way.
Wait. We're talking about you talking about Azraya's point. Okay. Now you're saying that if Usain Bolt wins 3 years in a row, it's okay that he didn't train.
I'm not saying it's okay. It means he's done something right that we probably are not analyzed for. It's typical statistics. If the end product, all right, before the aim of everything that we do, the objective of everything that we do is to get to the end product. Yeah? So if the end product is reached consistently, then something that was done in that process was right. That's my point. So yes, I understand Azrael's example is extreme. Of course, training, that's an extreme example. But my point is, if you get to the end product and you consistently do it, something has been done right. That's my point.
Yes. And we're saying that.
So I'm not saying the coaching up front is great. This is why I can say
I'm not saying it's just naturally gifted. That was Azrael's point. People just naturally gifted.
Well, yeah.
So it's nothing to do with.
So this is why I'm saying, like, you know what you're saying? It's like you're not really disagreeing with my point. But what I'm trying to say is, if we have a problem in defense and we're trying to fix that problem, but attack is still scoring, then it means the attack is not the problem. Because right now, if we stop leaking goals and we continue with whatever we're doing, whether it's freestyle up front or whatever, and we still kept on scoring, would we not be first? No, we would be. Most of the things we've struggled with is because we've leaked goals. That's my point. That's my point. I'm not saying that attacking. See, what I'm saying, there's a subconscious bias. I'm not saying Ole's got some nice thing attack. Yes, attacking wise, there's not much going on, but the players are delivering. The players are delivering, so you address the problem.
Question, You believe attacking and defending are separate? You think they're separate? They're not one.
How would you how can you put that into my mouth? No, of course it's not one. Of course it's not one.
You're saying that the fact that we're attacking and the fact that the defense is the issue, you're saying that they're like separate things. It's all one.
What defense? Yeah.
When you attack, you defend. When you defend, you attack.
Gone one for the other. But my whole point of this whole thing that I even began with was the fact that the reason why we're not scoring as many goals, the reason why we're not being the top 6 size and that kind of stuff with matches from Pogba is because we've had to forego that attacking now to protect the defenders. That's my point. That's my point.
Yes, I'll just leave it.
We get you, but yeah. We're going in circles.
Yes. Let me go to my notes.
We'll see at the end of the season anyway.
That was just the first sentence. Imagine, and we're 48 minutes in.
I'll need to continue this in person at some point because
Arsenal, obviously, the other sleeping giant in the room.
Bedtime, fam.
Arsenal, obviously, in the last pod, we said it was a big week for you lot. I mean, Thursday, you guys' emotions must have been through the roof because I can't lie. When Benfica scored that second goal, me and my brothers, we was rejoicing.
Of course.
We was rejoicing like, yo, they're going that. And then the boy Saka, man. The boy Saka again. Or Bambiang back. The player Saka. Or Bambiang with 2 goals.
The system wasn't doing much about the player, just saying.
The system's what created the goal, but anyway.
The system wasn't Saka got the ball, done a step over across the back post, head of.
But he got it in position.
That's rarely how Arsenal score.
He got it in position he's meant to be with him. But anyway.
He was just in his position. That's where he plays.
Stop trying rubbish as a rhyme. Stop trying.
He plays on the right. He said, "Don't kill me, fam. Don't kill me."
About the system.
He was just on the right. He got the ball, done his own thing.
All right.
You don't know about play?
As narration. You're reaching. But anyway, Dan,
let's just move on.
Dan, what was your reaction on that game, man? Because like I said, you guys' emotions. I think that's the only thing you guys got going for you this season. So to pull out the bag must have been a great feeling.
Yeah, no, at first I was a bit annoyed that, the first leg just weren't like done and dusted, but because it was a good performance, I was like, all right, we'll see what happens in the next one. But because it was all played like in these odd countries, you didn't really know what to expect to the game. Like, I didn't really know what to expect going into it. So when I looked at it, and obviously that second goal, and then I was just like, all right, cool, we're out, innit, done. Game over. I didn't really have no faith after that. I was like, all right, because like, come on, man, you're meant to treat the game as a final, innit? So it's meant to be do or die. Yeah. And they just let it do the normal Arsenal thing and just let it go and just said, yeah, here, have a chance to win the game. And they kept giving them chances, but in Saka we trust, fam.
Well, is that not the player, the system that?
Oh, who you trust?
In Saka, I trust, right?
Don't play games because I've been saying players are key. Like, without Salah, I don't know where Liverpool would be. Without Aubameyang, I don't know where you'd have been last season.
Nah, I enjoy it because even when the men are sitting out now, the same things are running. We're still winning games, scoring goals. So I don't know. Right. I just like Saka. He's just really sick, man. And
but you're saying that because of the Leicester result, yeah. But when you I'm going to go into the Leicester result. Yeah, I'm going to go to Leicester result because I remember the lineup going over to Arsenal fans were fuming, like thinking, oh, why is he making so much changes? Who's he resting them for? And then obviously he won. So it's like the system, was it a one-off or what was it?
No, I think it's just one of those things. You got to rest players, you got to rotate, and it's not like he made like glamorous changes. Like, I thought Willian, obviously, I don't really like Willian, so I was like, weren't looking forward to that. But again, he's an experienced winger who's played in the Premier League for a long bloody time. So, you can expect good things from the rotation, and like that's what the growth is about. That's the system. Like, you can't just chop and change just because you're changing the man who's in the team. Keep the same system, and whoever comes in and out, they got to play it.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. You're saying that now, but at the time when you saw that lineup come out, was you happy?
No, I was cool. I was calm. Them man need rest, bro. Them man can't play every game. Like, you got to rest. And Saka's a young kid. Like, don't burn the kid out, man. Don't do that. Because like with Martinelli, we were ready to burn that kid out, and then he got injured. Yeah. And that saved him. Like, that was like, all right, you sit down, you take a rest. Because otherwise, like, that's just how it goes with Arsenal, especially with these young kids. As soon as we get on one's back, he's out there, and then we have a Wilshere, we have a Ramsey who just has injuries their whole career. You get me?
Yeah. So why do you think you beat Leicester? What?
Why?
Yeah, like why? How did you not manage to beat Leicester? Leicester are a good team with a great system and a great manager.
I didn't expect it to be like that. Like, they scored that 1-0, and I was thinking, okay, that's kind of for us. When we concede in the beginning of the game, it's like the players need that to get that little motivation going. They get the little clock ticking. So when we got the goal back, I was like, oh, maybe there's a little something in this one. Because before, it's Leicester, they're a good side. They're in the top half of the table. They're performing way better than we were, but they're having a little dip now. So it was a good time to get those 3 points. So I'm glad that the rotated side could get it done, innit? Because boy,
the lineup again. I saw the majority of Arsenal fans saying, "What the hell? Why are we resting players?" I mean, you guys ain't got no midweek game this week, so it was like, why is he making wholesale changes when you just like you've gone through to the next one in Europa League? So like, what was your reaction to that lineup with Willian and Pepe coming in for Saka and Aubameyang? Partey was on the bench. You had El Neni and Xhaka midfield. It was like, what's going on, fam? Was it Mari and David Luiz centre backs? It was like.
Mari's all right. He's all right. David Luiz is
yeah.
I think so. When I saw it, based on the objectives that I have for Arsenal, because I remember I came on this pod and I said the next few games against Aston Villa and Wolves will determine whether we should concentrate on the league or the Europa League.
Yeah,
we lost. We didn't pick up enough points from those games, and clearly our attention needs to now be on the Europa League.
So now, a great system. Oh, sorry. Even if Arteta great system.
You know, I'm gonna come back to that.
I'm playing. I'm joking. I'm actually joking.
He's just gaslighting you now.
No, I'm gonna take it. He knows that's why he said it on purpose. But when it comes specifically to our objectives, like the only way we can get into top 4 is Europa League very clearly. So when it came to me seeing the starting lineup, I was like, yeah, it's fine because even if we beat Leicester, what are we trying to do?
Yeah, that's
trying to
true.
get top 4 in the league. Who cares? You're not getting top 4 in the league. So why does it? It doesn't matter if you give these players or these like, we're gonna have bragging rights over Leicester. I don't care.
That's another point because you see this top 6, big 6. I see there's a kind of new rivalry. Like
it's
who's the
changing.
big-
It's trying to change.
Yeah, so it was kind of a big game to be honest. And you lot turned out and said, "Hold on, we're actually the original big 6. Like where you lot going?" So
Original big 6. Look at that. What kind of stupidness is
but
this?
it's true though.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like the place that we've fallen from. We just need to be real, and we're talking about us, the original big 6.
If all these managers had great systems,
So why is it that Leicester? Why is it that Leicester are so close to you, but you've got way better players? Would you say your squad is way better than this? They're only like
our squad, yeah, I think our
Yeah.
squad is better than this.
Is
But
it
I
way
think
better?
I think their starting 11 is very good.
It's very good, yeah, but isn't your
I think,
squad?
I think it's better than. I think it's better than what people think. I think the starting 11 is extremely good.
It's very good.
Like if you like the squad, which is what I tried to tell you, which is why I don't think they'll finish above us because the squad is not as big as us. But in terms of their starting 11, they're very good, mate.
Is their starting 11?
Look at their midfield three.
Is their starting 11 as good as yours?
Is it as good?
I
mean, if you go through player for player,
it's tough.
It's not as what's the word? As clear as you would think.
Wait, Rick, you're doing your best to that. Let's go through it because right back.
Let's go through it.
Sorry, Ricardo Pereira
Let's
gets
go
this
through it because the whole back four
straight.
for me goes to Leicester.
Yeah.
Left back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know you won't think of it.
Centre backs.
Wait. Defensively, I'm not sure about the left back.
Evans will start us now. Evans will start.
Can I say something? Yeah. You guys will all think that their back four is amazing, their back five is amazing, and then we'll sign their best centre back like we did, and they'll come to our club and they'll just look crap because
there's no system.
Leicester, they're set up to succeed at Leicester. Like, guys, yeah, don't get when Jack goes fishing, don't take the bait. Don't take it. Don't take it.
Wait. See what I mean? This is what I don't like, Jerry. You said I'm just talking like I didn't make a valid point. That team is just really as good as ours. This is what I don't like.
That's what I said.
Okay, wait. Let me say something.
The way I'm making a valid point, Daniel, as let's see what's making a valid point. So why this guy saying as if I'm just speaking nonsense, fam?
No, because okay, so Leicester, yeah, from however many seasons ago, I want to say from Claude Ranieri, a couple seasons after that, and even till last season, not forgetting last season, until Brendan Rodgers came, they're everybody knows Vardy on a counter attack. Leicester, that's what they do. When they had Mahrez as well on the right, like counter attack, that's what Leicester do. Now, all you need to do is listen to what's this guy's name? Maddison speak. Now, like the system they have, like is suiting their players so well. What they do is their best system.
What did you just say? Repeat it again.
That's the key. The system and the players has to work together.
But Jack,
it has to work together. That's what we don't disagree. But we're not talking like you lot. I feel I'm disagreeing. I agree, but you need to listen to what I'm saying. The players have to work. The players have to be. Vardy is. Les, let me say something. Vardy is extremely good at what he does.
Yeah.
That's why Leicester have been where they are because he's extremely good.
But you know what?
Switch that for another player, Leicester come down even with the same system.
They would play a different system. Switch it for another player, they play a different system because Vardy is.
And they won't be where they are.
Maybe not, but this is what I'm trying to say. Vardy is the kind of guy.
Where you guys are.
Vardy's not the kind of guy where he's gonna like he's tick-a-tacker. He's trying to do link-up play like Giroud, like someone like Giroud does. That's not how he plays. He's playing on the last man. He's trying to get in behind. So what they do most of the time is counter-attack. They can now. They've got 2 or 3 players in midfield and some good ball players at the back to the point where they can actually hold the ball now.
Some good ball players. Oh, yes. Oh,
yes. Yeah, no. Yeah, wait. Yeah, going forward. Yeah. So what they do is, I would say around like 70%, 60% of the time, they're comfortable just counter-attacking. But they actually can play ball against smaller teams. But when you see, as soon as they go 1-0 up and they have to keep the ball against bigger teams, it's a problem. They want to counter-attack naturally
Yes.
because that's what they do better. That's what they do best. Brendan Rodgers has done a very good job in taking them from being a counter-attack team, them having this kind of blend now where they can counter-attack and they can also play ball. Hopefully, he wants to take them to a team where they can actually just play ball. It doesn't matter who they're playing; they're just playing. They're playing ball. They're keeping the ball.
But you agree that takes time?
It takes time, yeah, but you can see it. You can see it in the game. It's very evident. Like that's what they're doing. Can
Do
you
you know
tell
what
me?
that's really funny? Do you want to hear that's really funny?
He had compared to
It's a
Oli.
very similar case. Huh?
Had compared to Oli.
How much time?
At the same time,
It's been roughly the same amount of time.
Yeah,
I just want to say that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And where are Leicester in the league? And what have they achieved?
they're outperforming what they're doing, and we're trying to look at
They're
that.
Taking stuff out of context, Jack. Please stop.
Wait. You're saying, you see, okay, context. Let's stick to Ricky. Don't say something
every
specific.
day.
You're saying
It's not every day.
You're saying-
It's not every day. I'm banning it.
What you're
bro.
saying,
Like,
okay. Let's conversation, not butting in. Conversation. You're saying that how long has it taken Rodgers, right,
To do that with Leicester.
to do that with Leicester, but they've not finished doing anything.
No,
They
but
still play very counter attack.
when you say they haven't done anything, you have to look at their objectives. They're not Man United. They're not expected to win the league with the players they have.
Why
So
not
the
expected
players
We're
they have-
supposed to win the league. This is what I'm saying. We're expected to win the league. Are we not overachieving by being second? This is the nonsense I don't like.
Did I say that?
Are we not overachieving by being second?
Did I say that?
Blood.
Did I say that?
Blood.
Did I say that?
No, but he said objective. Our objective is to win
Objectives,
the
blood.
You listen to what I'm saying. If you
lad.
you keep telling people,
guys,
listen to what you're saying.
Sorry, guys. That's my bad.
Listen,
My bad.
wait, guys.
Go on, my bad.
Let's all try to listen to understand and not listen to just rebuttal. Yeah,
Trust me, I'm not
Like-
that kind of guy. I listen
No,
to
no, no.
understand.
Look, if you look at Leicester versus Manchester United, there's no way with the resources that Manchester United have compared to Leicester that we should be in similar positions. Yeah, Leicester are overperforming and we are underachieving as a club. Full
Have you
stop.
Underachieving.
I totally disagree.
Club as a club,
I totally disagree.
guys. A club is more than your finance. It's more than your players on the pitch and your manager. It's also your squad. Yeah, your players on the pitch, your coaches, your club, your attraction, your brand, your history, your money, your finances.
Wait. One sec.
Oh,
Wait,
most
one
players
sec.
bigger at Man United than they are at Leicester.
One sec.
Most of those things are bigger at Man United than they are at Leicester.
When we say underachieve, so what was Man United's objective?
No, we're supposed to
you're
win the
not
league.
listening
We're
to me.
supposed to
Bro,
win
you're
the
not
league.
listening to what I'm saying.
No. They're saying the status of the two clubs.
That's
Our
why-
club
Obviously, yeah.
underachieving compared to our resources. We are underachieving.
Yeah.
Facts.
As you lot said, you're the
Yeah.
biggest
No,
club
that's
in
not
the
what we're talking
country.
about.
Our
We're not talking
resources,
about that,
we are underachieving.
We're
Facts.
talking about the teams.
We're not talking about
teams.
the
No, we
we're talking
are
about
because
teams. We're not talking.
Leicester's overachieving compared to their resources.
We're talking
But
about-
they're talking about 11 to
We're not talking
11.
about that.
Yeah, that's what's about teams.
Who's underachieving? Who's
Our
overachieving?
level
I told AC Milan is not
problem.
for years.
This is the problem. You guys are trying to focus on the wrong things. That's the
What the
problem.
pitch?
Football is
Well,
more than 11.
Well,
11.
Yeah, but we're talking about the teams.
We're not talking about what you're talking about, fam.
You're talking about football just on the pitch.
And do your
You're
FIFA
coming
thing.
with a
Do
different
your
argument for something that doesn't even make sense.
That's another topic.
No, but you have to explore it still. Like,
Yeah, of course. But right now we're talking about the team. That's what I'm trying
okay,
to say.
fine. If we're talking about the team right now,
Yeah,
if we look at Man United's team
yeah.
as an Arsenal fan,
Yeah.
right? The players you have in your team, I would love to have in my midfield. Like the players you have as your defenders, I would much rather take Wan-Bissaka as my right back than Bellerin. As the players you have in your team are not bad players, right?
Yeah, but who
Now-
else would you take? Who else would you take? Just him.
I'd take Bruno, Pogba.
No, defense.
Rashford. Oh.
Defense.
Oh, Luke Shaw.
Now you're saying Luke Shaw. Last year you weren't saying Luke Shaw, man. Don't try.
Wait, over
The
Tierney.
players-
actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
but Tierney.
You're trying rubbish, fam.
Okay, but yeah, let
I'll take
me
Miley, but that's about it.
let me land. So
Yeah, guys.
when it comes to you lot, in terms of if you listed all the squads in the Premier League, because we're talking about team, right?
Yeah.
If you listed all the players in the Premier League, all the squads, I would say Man United should come top 3, number 1, and then number 2, the type of football that they should be playing in order to get top 3 shouldn't be sit behind the ball, counter attack against every single team in the league, like a what's it called, a team that's at the bottom of the league fighting relegation. That's not how you should be getting top 2 or 3, right? You should have like nice attacking football. It doesn't necessarily need to look nice. Like I don't think Chelsea's football looks that nice, but like
Just
it's
effective. Bro. Just something effective, like
exactly. And so when I compare the objective that I have for you, based on your players compared to what you're doing, that's where I'm saying you're underperforming. Because you're here, like you're second, and it seems as if, oh well, we're meeting this objective, so that's fine. But you're not meeting the other objective, which actually goes hand in hand with the other one. So it's like, why is it really that you are here? Is it because you've done this second thing, or is it because you've actually got players in your squad who at different moments are pulling you through? You get what I'm trying to say? Like we don't know the reason for what your success, and you guys are trying to say, oh, well, it's the players. It's Ollie or whoever is the tactics and whatnot, and you're creating chances, and we're saying no, it's the players. So we just have a difference in opinion as to why you're doing well right now. We will never agree on it because we see football differently. That's basically it.
Just to rebuttal
As
that.
you know, do we see the football differently?
Jack's wait, let me get Jesse. He's been in here a long time and he ain't even said a word, fam. Sorry, Jesse, but I heard what Az is saying, because the thing is, when we say objectives, we weren't gonna win. Like with our squad, like you said, City have the best squad. So for us, we basically have the second best squad if you're gonna look at it properly. And for us to be second, it matches. But the way we're playing as Manchester United as a club is not fulfilling where we should be. If we're looking at playing style, we're probably
crap. It's rubbish.
It's rubbish, fam.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I've never agreed with that.
But when you say underachieving, like this is what pisses me off here. Like, what was your objective at the start of the season? It was top 4 and possibly a trophy, right? No one ever thought we was going to be second where we are right now.
Yeah,
Everyone
correct.
thought Liverpool and Man City definitely top 2. Man United will either finish in 3rd or 4th right now. So it means we are actually like not kind of overachieving where we are right now, because Liverpool and Man City are better than us. And right now, Liverpool are not second.
Put it this way, Jesse. This I'll say a phrase that Jax always says so that you understand it. We basically think your performances right now are papering over the cracks.
Oh,
so you're getting the you're getting the results, but it's not because it's not exactly not sustainable. You're papering over the cracks. So you can try and do this again and think you'll get second, or you can grow on from it to try.
No. This is a one-off.
It won't work like that.
It won't. Next season,
There's no progress. There's no progress in this.
Another thing is the fact that the reason why our objectives are so low is because Ollie's our manager.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, that is a great point. I've always said this.
So much, it drives me mad. It actually drives me mad.
Rick.
Talk about the whole picture, fam.
Like, Jesse, quickly before I come to you, yeah.
No, I couldn't even finish my point.
Cool, one sec. But at that point, I've said this. The reason why other people don't take us serious when we was going for the league when I was all gassed.
Oh, that was a funny time.
It's because we have Ollie in charge. I'm telling you, fam. Like it just killed the whole vibe.
Why we have Ollie in charge. That's why.
Okay. All right, Jesse, go on.
Oh wow. You can say, listen, it does not matter what manager comes in.
Thank you, Jesse. Sensible.
Because right now, this back four.
Because we've had different managers. We didn't win the league. Sensible. Carry on.
Let me finish these points. The head is making mistakes. The back four is rubbish. Listen, Pep.
Told you about that, Lloris.
If Pep comes to this team, yeah, I guarantee all of you that if Pep comes to this team, let's say he didn't get backed. Let's say he had 0 signings with this team.
He's about to say something.
I'm not finished.
He's going to say something that's right.
Pep
won't win the league with this team.
I'm with him so far.
So, Jesse? Pep came to this team. I say, okay, the ball didn't back him this season. He had 0 signings. Pep comes second and he possibly wins the trophy. All United fans are going to be like, oh, but Pep needed players. So he didn't get backed. That's what all United fans will say. Everyone knows Pep needs players. Listen, players are very key, right? People say we're underachieving. Well, you guys need to realize Manchester United died in 2013. That's why I keep saying it died. We're not Manchester United. The expectations, no.
Yes, thank you. Jesse, you're speaking some sense to me.
It doesn't matter. charge. Mourinho was in charge. People said in the first season.
Let me address that point.
We
They
finished
said they were
sixth.
taking free seats.
Let me address that
And
point.
no, I'm not finished. I'm not
Go on,
finished.
go on, all right.
As you,
Go on.
I know.
Go on, fam.
I argue. That's one thing I do know. But listen. The expectations of this United needs to stop because we are not the same Manchester United. We ain't won the trophy. We ain't won the Premier League in how many years now? The last time we won the Premier League, I was in year 6.
I
I
agree.
was in year 6.
No,
agree.
but we're now expected to win the
I
league
know.
because we're Manchester United.
I was in year 4 the last time we won it. Yeah. Hey, listen.
Oh, man.
Think like you will never ever be back on top. If you continue to think like and have your expectations and accept what you're willing to accept,
He's
you'll
not
never be back
expecting
on top.
it. Don't put words in Justice's mouth. He didn't say that's what he wants. It's the
It's
truth.
happening.
It's just
Okay, wait. Let me
It's
let me
what's
address the
happening.
Guys, we're
point
not
that
facing
Jesse
the
and Jack
truth.
said.
Don't
Let me address.
that Manchester
relax.
United, Jerry. We're not that Manchester
So when it
United.
comes,
Man United is not going to win the league as long as Ed Woodward is there. Fact. That's my bottom line.
Not
Doesn't matter
necessarily
who
true.
comes in. If you don't get backed, what's the point? Because
Okay, fine.
Pep could come to
You
this
lot-
and not get backed, and you still won't win the league. Then you're gonna say he didn't get the players. That's what you're gonna say.
Okay,
so Pep
so
can come to this team.
there's something that I hear Man U fans say all the time that, I hear Jackson Jesse say all the time, and Jesse just copies what Jackson's saying. So I hear just Jack say all the time.
Tell me how I'm copying.
Relax.
Tell me how I'm copying. Jax has
Good
not said
Lord.
anything I've
No,
said.
don't bully Jesse. He's got his
Huh?
own man, fam. He's got his
He's
own
got
man.
the
Nah,
As
bro.
a
He's
Ryan-
got his own man.
as a
What he
Ryan-
just
As
said
a
is
Ryan-
so sensible.
As a
Respect him, fam.
As a
Oh,
Ryan-
What
okay,
Jesse
so-
said is one of the most sensible things I've ever heard. Just don't get bullied. You're not a pussy, yo, fam. Don't get bullied.
Anyway,
Order.
let's address this point that is always said by Jax and Jesse. So we had these managers in the past, yeah, and because we've hired so many other managers, the point of bringing another manager won't work because we've done that in the past.
That's not what I've said.
That's not what I said.
Okay,
See,
so
the one thing I don't like is when people take
You
a
don't
tiny bit of what I've
listen.
said.
correct it.
Can I correct it? Let me correct it.
Correct it.
Jesse said the same thing as
Let me
that.
correct it. One thing I don't like is when someone takes a tiny bit of what I've said and then to suit their argument.
Correct. 'Cause I have a point.
I have always said that for Man United to be successful, we need the best coaches, we need the best players, and we need the best everything. I've said that like 20,000 times. I've always said it. So yes,
Sweet.
if you bring a new coach in and you back him, like I said, if you backed Jose, we could have won the league. Then it works. So I've never said that if you bring in a coach, it's not going to work. All I'm saying
I never.
is we've had previous coaches and it's not worked. And the main problem with Man United is not that. It's not the coaches. It's Ed Woodward because he doesn't back them to the end. That's my point.
You're saying that that's not the biggest problem because you've seen other managers who you thought have been world class in the past try it and it hasn't worked. So that's why you don't think that's the solution, correct? Am I correct in saying that?
Well, I don't get your point.
You know what?
So it's like if you do that again, you won't be back.
You know,
So-
Sammy.
Yeah. I think if you just keep changing managers and nothing else changes in the formula,
It's because the board is still rubbish, isn't it?
because the board is still running.
I
And so let me make the point. Let me make the point so that you don't get it wrong. If you keep the same thing in the formula, the same managers keep changing managers. You've brought the top managers, LVG, Jose Mourinho, and the one variable in the formula doesn't change, which is Ed Woodward, right?
Yeah.
I don't expect nothing to change, especially because you've got other people like Pep who are getting backed, and obviously Klopp, who are going to be 1 and 2 all the time. You can bring another manager. If you don't change that thing, I don't think we're going to win the league. And I think the best we can do is second, which is why I say wait to the end of the season. If Ole finishes second, then I think he's done the best he can possibly do.
Okay, fine. And that's basically what I said. And so I agree with that, i.e. this changing a manager won't work. And that's like, if you keep everything else the same.
Yeah, you can improve.
The problem with you coming to that conclusion is you haven't kept everything else the same. You've had different players each season. Like, it's not like one manager's come in and had the exact same players. Like, how long was it? Was Di Maria under 2 different managers, or was he under?
He was there for 1 season.
Moyes.
So, like,
For 1 season.
LVG.
Do you know who is to blame for that? Ed Woodward.
Yeah, Ed Woodward, of course. But it's not like you've had. What I'm trying to say is the conclusion.
It's a different era of Man United, that is.
Because you haven't kept. You're saying that it's dependent on you keeping everything the same, and I'm saying you can't actually get to that conclusion because
I see what you're saying.
Kept everything the same, and if that's the conclusion you draw as a result of you seeing something wrong, it's dangerous because you then might think that you don't need to bring in someone like Poch, who can actually maybe with this same set of players do better. That's my whole argument.
I agree that he would do better. I totally agree that he would if you. All right, so I see what you're saying. You have changed the variables, and obviously you haven't kept it. I see that. What I'm saying is, yes, if we bring in Poch, we will definitely improve because Poch is by far a better manager than Ole. I just don't think it's enough to win the league if you don't change the players.
So can I ask you a question based off of that? Because your equation is basically world-class manager and good players put together, and you will do well, right?
Currently, because of Liverpool and because of Man City, if you don't have that, I don't think we win the league. Yeah,
correct. And I think that's any logical person would think that's what it is.
I've said that many times.
But since you don't have, so if that's the formula that you're striving towards, and you know Ollie's not world-class, why don't you just fire him now? Because you said
I don't disagree. This is the thing. That's what you don't listen to me.
Yeah, but why don't you fire him now? Like now, bro. Don't wait for the end of the
season. Now.
Don't wait for whatever. Fire him now,
But he's second.
Listen, if he was to,
I have no reason.
Forget that. If he was gonna sack Ole today and bring in a top manager, and I can believe that Ed Woodward will back this guy, I would do it with immediate effect.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the last episode. I think David is the only person that really got what I was trying to say. I think Ole is just optimal with what we have right now. It's just optimal. He's optimizing. He can't do better than second. Because if you bring another manager in, right, I think we're just going to face the same issues because Ed Woodward in that formula is too heavy. Do you know what I mean? It's too much of a big influence. I think. Does that make sense? And if he was to sack Ole today, and bring in a top manager, and Woodward was going to back him to the end, I'll do that immediately.
Okay, so you're saying basically because you know Ed Woodward's not going to back someone, you're going to basically have this formula that you've had, which is just good players here and there.
I think Ole is the formula is Ed Woodward. I think Ole is the only one that works with him. Any other manager will just come in and it will just go downhill. I think
Poch could work with him.
No, don't say that.
No. He didn't work with the Tottenham board. It'll be the same thing.
A Levi fan.
He went to the Champions League final, guys.
And
he lost. He lost.
No
one will say that. We expected Tottenham to go to Champions League final. Let's be real. Like.
It's true.
It's like United, though. No one expects us to be second. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we do.
No, you don't. Don't lying.
You said 5 minutes ago.
No, wait. Say that Tottenham United the same thing. The same Tottenham United the same thing.
You know, you're hurting my ears, fam.
Just you say Tottenham United the same thing.
I'm saying at the start of the season, no one.
Jerry Jackson, let him talk for himself, fam.
Yeah, I said before the season, no one expected us to be here. So we are overachieving. No one expected us to be second, fam. Let's be real. Did you expect United to be second as? No, you didn't.
We've already addressed this though. It's because we have Ole as our manager.
But so is the team. So
it's overachieving. That's what I'm saying.
No, but Poch. No, you're not getting it. Poch overachievement is different to Ole's overachievement.
How?
Overachievement is still an underachievement.
So you think Poch will win the league with this team?
Ole's underachievement is still
though, and it's not been answered.
Ole's overachievement is still an underachievement.
Underachievement
because
for who?
It's an underachievement for our club, but overachievement only for him. It's only because Ole.
Wait. So.
It's almost my bedtime.
One sec.
Almost my bedtime.
And so when if Poch came, so what do you expect if Poch came?
That's the question I've got to ask.
He didn't want anything. That's what I'm trying to know.
No, I want Ricky to answer that question.
What do you expect?
I'll answer the question, fam. I'm not like you. Anyway, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Poch is a manager that develops players. We at United haven't had a manager that develops players. Yeah. So that's what I'd expect him to do. He developed the players to a point where they would be achieving their optimum. That we'd actually get the best as we possibly could.
So which is what?
We don't know how good these players could possibly be, though.
which is second in a cup. That's what I'm saying. So wait,
thank you, Daniel.
The same thing. Oh man,
it's not the same.
At the end of the day, we don't end up in the same place.
No, listen. the amount that Poch can improve the players is higher than the amount that Oli can improve a player.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
We're all understanding
The ceiling's
that. We all know
higher.
the growth. We all know the ceiling is higher.
It is, but like I said,
Oli,
as let me ask
as
you.
a whole, please tell me.
Let me ask you. Let me ask us.
Oli, the ceiling is so low that if he just goes a bit above, we're like, wow.
Wait.
I think if Poch was doing the same thing as Ollie's doing now, it would be the same thing.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much.
In terms that I think you guys will understand. Basically, Poch wouldn't be doing. Poch might have the same position in the table, but it would look different.
Yeah,
you got what I'm saying?
We've agreed. We know Poch is better.
And Rick's saying that's better than just having. That's better than what Ollie's doing now.
Of course,
that's what he's trying to say.
But that's obvious. It's obvious.
So when he says that you guys are underachieving, he's saying that you guys could actually be in the same place where you are right now, but playing good football, creating chances.
But the end result is to win the league.
That's it. So you'd be under the achievement would be the same.
The same thing.
Okay, the reason why we have this dumb argument is because we're not analysing what the achievement actually is. To have this argument properly, to actually come to a real conclusion where people are just saying things left, right, center, is how do you define achievement? Are you defining achievement as what we win, where we end up in a table, and the actual objectives? Because that's what I think. That's the whole point of football. The objective to hit the objectives, win the league, finish second, finish on top foot. That's how you define. That's you set your objectives and you either achieve or underachieve, right? Not playing sexy football. That means we've achieved, and that's what we've underachieved. That's how I define
sexy football for years, man.
That's what I'm asking.
Sexy football. Wait, guys. Can I say
no one is disagreeing that Poch won't do better than Ollie. I think he would.
Wait, I heard your point. Yeah, I'll say something very clear to you. Yeah, currently, the amount of games that Manchester United win, you actually analyze the games. Our opposition takes better chances than us, meaning that if the opposition had maybe a similar level of players to us, we would lose 9 times out of 10. We'd lose. Actually lose. Now that's a massive issue. Maybe to you guys, just because we're winning and we're seeing results, it's not a massive issue to you guys, but it's a massive issue because eventually our overachievement, these us not actually getting results that we deserve, will come back to haunt us. It will actually become the norm. Right now, the way we're performing is not normal, bro. It's not sustainable.
Yeah,
it's not sustainable.
But in terms of achievement,
thank you. Back to the question. In terms of
they both never won nothing. They're both inexperienced managers. They're both just going to walk into the same situation with the same players with the same board. That's the point. They're going to walk into the same scenario and do the same thing. I hear what you're saying in terms of Poch is better at coaching players.
So the same scenario.
Let Daniel finish.
The expectation of Poch is not going to be he's going to come in, win the league, take you to the Champions League final. That's not going to be it, bro. It's going to be the same thing. He needs to improve on what Ollie is doing. Am I wrong?
I think you're not wrong, Dan. You're correct, bro.
He's correct.
I'm so confused.
If someone can win the league, this is a manager, and they can win the league with like a team like Aston Villa, and then they come to a club like Manchester United with our resources. It's okay to believe that they're going to be able to do even a better job at Manchester United.
But Poch didn't win the league.
But Poch didn't win the league.
Won the league. I'm saying Poch. I didn't say he won a trophy. I'm saying Poch secured a final position at the Champions League with Tottenham. And secured top 4 finishes with Tottenham. So it's arguable to say
Ollie hasn't done that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right now.
Well, wait.
We agree that Poch would do better, but I don't know about.
I'm about to land.
Is the same as what we're saying. If he comes into the job today,
United. It's very easy to believe.
But we said this though.
Let me
that better could be winning the trophy. You guys are saying that better. You guys are saying that better.
No, it's not the same as winning the trophy, though. It's not, because it's not winning the trophy.
Okay.
They're not the same thing.
You could do. You definitely could win a trophy. United.
So could Ollie, though. So could Ollie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand.
Many times this season, but no.
Of course
Okay.
it is, but they're still the same boat, though. Like,
Expectation.
Wait, guys, wait.
on us.
Two things.
Oh,
The first thing that I think Rick is trying to say is that
As he just
let me land.
Go on,
So,
yeah,
I'll clock how these conversations go now. But yeah, man.
Yeah, two things very quickly. Number one, what Ollie's doing right now, he's trying to say that the performance isn't coupled to his ability. So you doing well right now, you can't say, yeah, we'll do it again, or like this is like Ollie would repeat it again kind of thing, because it's not his ability that's allowing you to be second. Which is why. Let me say the second thing.
Yeah, definitely.
You were asking a question basically that no one answered, which is what is the definition of success, right? And the definition in terms of achievement, generally for a football fan, when you're watching TV, you want your team to, number one, win. Secondly, you want it to be good. Like you don't want it to be a waste of your time watching. It's entertainment at the end of the day, like we're doing, right?
Is this us, the fans, or is that Man United as a club?
No, that's the fans. The fans, like the team is the team is the fans, but the team is there to for you guys. Like, otherwise,
the objectives are not set by the fans.
I get you, but this is what I'm trying to say. So
that's what I'm saying. Let's define achievement, because to achieve something, you need an objective, and we're talking about objective. Who sets the objective?
The objective is set obviously by the CEO or whoever, right?
And what is the objective? And what is the objective?
The objective is obviously to win trophies. That's it. But secondarily, it's to do it in a fashion that pleases your fans, gets people into the stadiums, like to get fans happy about what you're doing. Which is why
I don't know if that was the case, because Jose, I don't think that's
exactly. I'm coming on to that. I can't remember who was it. Whether it was Roman Abramovich, or I can't remember. There's basically Jose was winning titles. Yeah, he had one dip in the season, right? And he was fired. And the manager that was brought in after him was one that was going to bring in good football. And the CEO
No, it was Avram Grant. Relax.
Okay, fine. Whoever it was, and the reason that was given was, yeah, Joe's like, this guy's taking us to a place where we're winning trophies, but we want to be playing good football now. And so
I disagree. They weren't winning games. That's why
they were losing.
They were getting bags.
Listen to what I'm saying. The club had been taken. Their status had been taken to a point where they're expected to win trophies by this former manager. They are now not performing, and this guy chose to not give him the whole season to improve it. He said, "No, let me fire him." And the guy I'm bringing in, one of the reasons I'm bringing him in particular in, is not only to win cups, but also to play good football. So this is what I'm trying to say. There are always two. At least my definition of success for a football club is two things: win cups, number one. If you're doing that, you'll always be happy to a certain extent. The secondary one is to do it in a way that is entertaining, right?
Yes.
And the whole point is that if Ollie right now, number one, we can put him to the side as to whether we think he's the reason why.
One second. That you see that Jose second. I'm just reading here. Avram Grant, a personal friend of Abramovich, was appointed director of football in 2007. After the departure of Mourinho, that's when he became the manager. That sounds fishy.
Man.
So maybe he comes out
director of football first.
Maybe there's
exactly
going on there, and he just came out and said that, but really he was just his friend. Okay, fine, but we can't sit here and say that we don't want our teams to play good football when they win.
We all do.
Okay, so we all know it's one of the objectives, right? It's not necessarily
for us.
They're there to serve us. Otherwise, if they don't serve us, we don't go into the stadiums. We start to boycott them. We start to spread hate to them. And this is what Edward has been doing. He's been listening to the fans the whole time, because that's what his job is. He's meant to serve you lot. You lot have been shouting at him all the time. He thinks let me just buy this player. Let me just try and buy this player.
No, you're right. Yeah, he hears one thing and says, yeah, that must be what you lot want.
Why did you buy him?
Guys, it's nearly my bedtime. I'm shutting.
I'm with
Always, I've been animated this episode, but let me be honest and just say exactly what I'm trying to say. I totally agree that Poch is by far a better manager than Ole. I also know if Poch came to Man United, he would do a far better job than what Ole is doing right now. He will play much better football, and we have a better chance of winning the league and a better chance of winning trophies. I think that is, anyone who doesn't believe that does not understand football, and like that's not my point. That's not what I believe, if that makes sense. What I'm saying is when Manchester United is right now, especially with Ed Woodward, Poch would come and he would do those things, but the end result will still be the same. Yes, in terms of what, as I said, we might be playing better football. I mean, that's where me and Ricky disagree. Yes, we might be playing better football and we could do certain things, but I genuinely believe, unless Ed Woodward was to leave, Poch will come, and again, as I said earlier, I don't know if Ricky missed it, we have a better chance of winning the league. And I'm not saying it's
He'll
not
be
impossible,
given the same
but I think he will be given the same expectations, and he will achieve probably exactly what Ole is achieving now. Now, I feel sorry for Ole because every time we mention his name, it's like, Ole's dead, whatever. But I try to take away Ole, and I just try to see what he has actually done since he joined. And I said, all right, in his first season, he did actually finish third, right? And his second season, he's second. So I've always maintained my stance that let's wait to the end of the season to see what he can actually achieve with this team. And I've even told my brothers that if he doesn't get top 4 and doesn't win a trophy, I'm happy for him to leave. I've always said this kind of thing. I don't think just finishing the top 4 is good enough. I think he needs to win a trophy. But if he does achieve those things, he has not underachieved. That's my point.
And the only place where I disagree is you're saying that Poch and Ole coming in doing this, finishing in the same place is the same thing, the same achievement. And I'm saying
based on the objectives of the club generally.
Exactly.
But based on my expectations, I would
what
rather,
it is.
but based on my expectations, any fans' expectations, you would prefer to take Poch because you want to watch good football. I understand that, but I'm saying how we usually define achievement
when you look at the competition tree
trophies
and who won the match.
Who won the match?
No, but who was the manager? Who was the player? I don't know none of that.
Who
won who took the trophy home?
I agree with you, and I'm saying if two people bring the same thing, but one of them does it in a nicer way, why would you not want to? Regardless, you can give your props to Oli. Fine, I'm not saying don't give him his props for having that achievement. Why would you not take this person who brings the same thing and he does it in a better way? Brings in that's an improvement.
Because after a while he's gonna get frustrated. He's gonna leave just like Van Gaal.
Say that Poch will bring Man United the league. This is what's getting me angry because
Poch, which is why I said that Ole is optimal for Man United's model.
CV's dead. Poch's CV's rubbish. He ain't won no trophy, no league titles, no nothing.
That's what I mean. He's gonna walk.
Well, he
can coach a team when he likes.
Like that's what Man United fans are not. We want to win the Premier League again. Yeah, no one can say Poch if he was to come right now, he will win Man United.
He's got a better chance of doing it.
No trophy,
but it's not.
They won nothing.
But there still be the same expectation to win a trophy and finish in the top 4. That's all I'm saying.
Jesse, let me ask you a question. Yeah. Has Poch ever been in a situation where he's had the resources to win the league? Yes or no?
He was in a title race.
No. That's
what we're saying. Has he had the resources?
Has he had the resources where his team is the favourite to win the league? Yes or no?
No.
There'd be no favourite.
Even top 3 favourites. Even top 3 favourites. Has he had those resources, Jesse?
I think so.
Champions League final?
No. In the window, he's never had the back.
He hasn't. He hasn't.
Your point has nothing to it. Your point has nothing to
it. Wait. Let me just say.
Wait, Jerry.
Never let me finish.
Wait. Bro, come out the stream, bro. Yeah, Rick, you're saying that, but if he comes United, will he have the resources to win the league?
That's my
no,
point.
much better.
That's
we could do that all day, though.
Guys, the teams the best squads in the league are Chelsea, Man United, and City.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Okay. The teams with the best 3 squads in the league are Chelsea, Manchester United, and City.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to argue?
But City is still above.
City's way.
Don't put them on the same level.
No, I do agree with that. But
he's just saying those are the ones with resources.
There's a big gap between those 3 and the rest of the league. There's a big gap.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Can I say something? This is, you guys can agree, Danny can agree as well. Jerry, I just want to see you lot's point. I genuinely believe that at some point, Poch had the resources to do better than he did. Let me explain what I mean. I think and prop to him, I think he was able to amass a team that was very good, very, very good with Dembele and Eriksen in the midfield, and those guys, Toby Alderweireld and Vertonghen. I think that team was good enough to be secured in the top 4 anyway.
Okay.
By team, you mean 11. By team, you mean 11. The league is a squad of 25.
Yeah, but I think
A league is a squad of 25. The league is a squad of 25.
Okay, I think there were other players in that. I don't know why he's buying in, but I think he still had enough to do better than he did. I think that team. I don't know if you want to agree or disagree or just disagree for the sake of disagreeing, but I think that team should have won a trophy.
Definitely.
That's what I've got. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
If you disagree, then fair enough.
But they got. Jack, let me say this: they got the Champions League final.
They
So
lost.
in
Yeah,
my
but they
mind,
lost.
I know, but you're saying you're based on their resources. Should they have really got the Champions League final?
No, that was
Yeah,
that was great. That was great. That was an
So
overachievement. That was great. That was good, man.
I just don't think he'll do the same thing with a Man United team. Like,
yeah,
that's
like,
it.
I feel like
just don't
he
think
done
with
really
this
well
bunch of
that
players.
season. Like that was.
I
Very
even
good,
think
man.
with Tottenham's
I saw
current
it.
bunch of players, he wouldn't do the same thing.
Yeah, he should
I
have
just
won at
don't
least
think
the
so.
FA Cup.
The team he had, yeah, was perfect for him.
Yeah, look at that Tottenham team.
That team was
And look
better
at
than
our
United
team.
team today.
That's what I was about to say, fam.
That team was
It
better
was
than
like
United team
it was
today.
so
I
well
feel
oiled.
like we overrate our team too much. It's not
Yeah,
actually that good.
Yeah,
Guys. You guys are like,
Greenwood.
no,
Look at it.
no, guys, you guys are even mad.
I'm gonna lose it.
I'm gonna lose it.
Oh my god.
This team, we overrate our players. We
No,
overrate our
no,
players.
no,
I'm
no.
It's true. It's
We're
facts.
overrating these players. Like, that's not level, bro.
Wait.
I told you, I did one. We got Lindelof from a player.
Bro, their whole back
No,
four is
guys.
Don't play games. Don't Harry Kane. Come on,
Let me land.
Please.
Please, you guys are moving bad. You guys are moving bad, yeah?
Wait, can I just say something? Wait,
Oh,
You guys are
their
moving
whole
bad.
back four. Their whole back four.
No. You're moving bad. Like a manager will come to a club. Manager will come to a club, and he will create a jigsaw and make everything look better than it is. Yeah, and make everything look amazing. And then we, from outside perspective, think this player is world class. This player is world class. All the players in that squad is now out of the blue world class. But that's not the case. The manager is world class. And he's made them look better than they actually are. That's the actual case in a scenario. You got and
He's developed.
Our club, our manager does the opposite. Our manager makes good players look rubbish.
I don't know. Rashford's looking great this season.
Makes good players look rubbish. So you guys are reaching and taking a manager that makes players look better, and then looking at their 11 and thinking, "Oh, their 11 is so amazing, and our 11 is so crap." And then we will buy their best player. We will buy their best player. They'll come to the club and they won't say anything.
Wait, quick question for Rick.
Play to our play. Those Juventus. Oh, their team is so amazing. Let's get Pogba. Yeah, Pogba comes to our club. What's Pogba saying?
that's Jose, fam.
Good player.
Because Man United is not the Juve he was playing in, bro.
Exactly.
That's the team he shined in. You get it? Like that's the system,
He's
the
shining
players.
Pelo on them, Man United. He's playing Pelo on
Different
them, Man United.
things. It's different
Pelo the best
settings,
DM of
bro.
all time, in my opinion.
This is my point to you guys. Like, when you guys talk about a player that plays for a team that's lesser than us and achieved less than us, and you say their 11 was amazing, I'm thinking,
Bro, it's an opinion. I think it just comes down to opinion who you rate.
okay, so you man that 11 was world class. Okay.
Which one?
They're not world class, but
It wasn't even a thing of world class. It was just compared to the team you have.
All I said, Ricky, and again, this is what I said. Please listen to me. I'm saying that 11 was good enough to win a trophy. That's all I said.
Yes, and I
said.
said, then you guys started saying that 11 was next level, and if you compare them to our individual players,
we did.
If we thought that those players individually are better than our players individually, they're not. It's because Poch made them look that way. They're really not.
Wait. One question: who are the good players at this club? Because we say
we say this club, and then you say that we make good players.
No, bro. I say we got good players. I've always said with the right coach, the players that we have, we've got Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, Mata. We got we got Rashford. We got Martial. I still think Martial's a good player. We got
You're
Greenwood.
just wasting
Yeah,
wasting attackers.
I've always said this. We got enough good players to play.
Greenwood,
Okay, see,
Martial,
there's a
Rashford,
key
and
word
you
you lot are
ain't
missing.
doing nothing.
Jerry, there's a key word you lot have been missing since 1 hour 30 minutes ago when I mentioned it. We have good attacking players.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, the defense is not that strong.
Did you not notice you didn't say one defender?
No.
You didn't say
I ain't gonna
one
go there.
defender. And
It's the same thing when he asked me who would I have in Arsenal.
Yeah.
We've got good players. You want to talk about attack?
That's like
Talk
Arsenal.
about the defense.
It's just like
I said
Arsenal.
this at the beginning of the stream. I said this at the beginning of the stream that when you go through City's back four, when you go through City's back four and you list their defenders,
It's average.
apart from Ruben Diaz, their defenders are not. You would take Zinchenko on one-on-one.
No, don't say
have a
that.
field day, bro.
Don't say that.
Can't
Don't say that. You're trying rubbish.
I'll take Cancelo.
Cancelo,
I'll take the poor and
Cancelo,
defensively. No, he's better, but I'm saying defensively, he's not a good defender.
Guys,
Defenders versus attackers, right?
Listen to it really quickly. When Jack says this point about our team defensively, I've said this to him already, so I don't even respond to him. This is the last time I'm going to respond to him on this point. Yeah, defending is a team thing. Yeah, defending is a team. You set up your team the way teams, the best teams we've seen. I say the Spanish team and the Barcelona team. The way they defend is by keeping the ball. You don't have to have world-class defenders to
we don't have
be
the
good team defensively. You have to have world-class
to keep the ball.
Barcelona is a crap goalkeeper. Actually,
Jerry and Jesse, please respond. I'm not going to respond to the same thing. I'm going to respond. We're going to keep. You think we can keep the ball?
My point to this is that you don't have to. I never said you have to keep. There's more than one way to win a chicken. You don't have to keep the ball to defenders. There's so many different examples in football. Who actually studied football to keep clean sheets. There's lots.
Okay.
There's like 20.
Wait. That's when we had one of the best defensive records last season.
Jesse, say that again, please.
I swear we had one of the best defensive records last season.
I want to hear Jesse speak, please.
I'm not finished.
Jesse, say that again. Jesse, please. Say that again.
I remember that. We had one of the best defensive records last season.
Yep.
But are you going to praise Oli for his team unit? No.
Come on, of course not.
I didn't hear that.
It goes back to that point where I said last season we played who? Remember when I got my pen out and I said last season we played Pogba, Matic. Did I not say that?
Okay.
Matic has lost his legs.
Let me answer Jesse's question because child's play. You answer Jesse's question, yeah. You guys said last season we had one of the best defensive systems. We also had one of the best stop shotters in the world. Yeah, we are the best goalkeepers at saving shots. He's one of the best goalkeepers at saving shots in the world. He is.
He was dead last year, though.
Last year he was dead.
No. Regardless of that,
I didn't see him do that against Watford.
By his standards, De Gea saves a lot of his shots. Yeah, Maguire gets lots of blocks. Yeah, doesn't mean that we didn't concede a lot of chances last season. Just because we didn't concede a lot doesn't mean we didn't concede a lot of chances last season. Thank you.
I think last season was down to how last season was the opposite. We actually couldn't score goals. Jay, remember?
Try to contextualize your arguments before you think about your arguments before you get loud.
Let me finish. Jay, remember that time when we was only winning 1-0. Remember last season we couldn't even score no goals. You know what's mad, Jay? You know what's actually mad? Last season we wasn't even really talking about the defense. We was talking about the attack. Last season, it wasn't really the defense because no one really.
Anyway, I'm going to sleep. Like I said earlier, I'm going to sleep, boys. Like I said, we had to forego opportunity cost. Just remember that we had to forego one thing for another. That's all. That's all it was, and that's what we've done. That's why we're always going to struggle one way or the other unless we get better players.
You win the league with defense, mate.
You're either going to get one or the other with this team that we have right now.
Good defense wins the league, mate.
You can't
concede 10 goals in the season, you're fine.
All right, listen. Okay, again, guys, it's gone overboard. Like I said, as much as I try, no, because you lot more that it's late.
No, it's fine. It was fun. It was fun, man. It was fun.
So when I say let's keep an hour, it's on an hour 30, 43. Like you can't blame me.
It's all good. It's all good.
We haven't even talked about the rest of what happened in the league. Fam.
It's all
we
good,
got-
man. It's all good. Listen, people want to hear this. People want to hear this, fam.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
we talked about Arsenal. We talked about United.
Az, can I say something about Az quickly? Yeah, Az, can I say
I don't want to
something?
talk about it again, man. I don't want.
Az,
I really don't
can I
want
say
to.
something? Yeah.
Yeah, go
When
on,
we
go
was
on.
having this
You gotta-
conversation, something popped up in my mind. I don't want to say, I don't want to call anyone out or mug anyone on air. Yeah? But you know, when we play Monday Night Football.
I knew this was coming, you know.
You
Yeah, go on.
see me, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like. I'm not a centre back, but I can play there. And I've been playing there for a long time, yeah. And I'm only 5'7", as you lot will know, yeah. Now imagine we're playing as a unit, and imagine, oh man, I hope he doesn't watch this, but you know when you play with like Freshie and like.
Yeah.
Thing is, you get what I'm trying to say, right? You
Yeah.
have to adjust. You have to adjust the defense. You have to adjust the way we play to
Yeah.
suit the players that we have.
Yeah.
Right,
I
but
agree with
when the weakness is so bad,
Okay.
do you see how hard it is to adjust and still be able to attack the way we want to?
Yeah, but
We
this is
basically
I agree with that.
That's
I agree.
I think that's the best way I can describe it.
No,
Like,
it's
when
good.
the topic is so bad.
We
No,
can't
but
play
I
out from
think
the
when
back.
you're so good at
Your arms to stay
I
down.
think-
We need to bring that back. We need to
No,
bring
I
that
think
back.
I think the problem with that is
don't tell him to watch this, fam.
we would just disagree in terms of
Yeah.
Freshie can't play the ball. He's not good in the air. He's not really.
I allow it. Go easy. Go
It's alright, man. It's an hour 45. Let him go off.
It's
You can
different.
watch the whole video, man.
Don't tell him to watch this.
No. What I mean by that is different.
Right.
It's different from
You
your
can't
centre
play
backs
for
who
the
actually
back.
have
You
strength.
can't play for the
You know what
back.
I'm saying? Like that's where we disagree because your centre backs actually have strengths. When Freshie's put there, it's a bit different.
Now,
It's
as
because there aren't
as
as many
imagine
strengths there.
imagine me playing against the as and I'm slow.
Yeah.
And now imagine I'm playing against David. Imagine David is now weak.
No, I get you, bro.
That's the
You
problem
have
I
to cut off
have,
your
fam.
hands to
There's
save your
just
arm.
too many. The weaknesses are too aggressive.
I just don't think
that's
it's
my only
that
point.
strong. I just don't
I think
it's
that's
that
where we
strong.
disagree.
Maybe
Yeah,
you
'cause they're
because
You need to watch
them
my
more.
Premier
night.
League
Watch my
Maybe
night.
because you watch them more.
Watch
Maybe
when
because
Wan-Bissaka
you watch
gets
them
the
more,
ball. You understand?
Yeah, exactly. I think when I see them, I'm like, oh, they've got some decent qualities that you should be able to do
Hey,
something with.
Jerry, yeah. Talk to me about Wan-Bissaka, Jerry.
We'll be here for another hour, fam.
At this
That
point, I
guy.
don't see no difference between Wan-Bissaka and Freshman. Don't twist it, please.
Literally.
You gotta say that. No, that's a far, fam.
Wan-Bissaka is horrible on the
No,
ball.
you say Wan-Bissaka and French. Wan-Bissaka cannot even clean fresh shoes, bro. Like,
Oh, look at
that's
it.
bad. Wan-Bissaka is.
Wan-Bissaka on the ball is so
Fam,
bad.
he's so
Bro,
bad. He's so
Freshy's
bad.
better than him
Like,
on the ball.
do you know what it is? Yeah? If Wan-Bissaka was just a bit decent, then everything you lot said about adjusting and that kind of stuff, I'll be like, yeah, you can adjust him. But he's just so bad on the ball. It creates such a problem. That's my issue. Like,
What got him signed in the first place?
if Maguire was just a bit more faster than he is, then that we can adjust. But he's so slow that, bro, you can play the fastest centre back next to him, and it's still sometimes,
They should just play deeper. That's a very simple solution. They should just play deeper.
bro.
Yeah,
That's
put
what
the
we tried to
depth
do
on
last
two,
season.
should be
That's my
alright.
point. That's what we tried to do last season by sitting back and hitting teams on the counter. That's my whole point.
So Ollie needs
But
to
it
have a
doesn't
spine
work
and
anymore.
not care about what the fans say, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Boy.
It looks like
We
we've
say
come to the end.
everything. Everything blessed, yeah?
Listen.
No. This way. It froze out that for a reason.
every week.
Hey,
innit?
listen. This is what we come here for. Difference of opinions. It is what it is. If we all agree with each other, then it'll be dead in it. So,
Yeah,
just
I
quick.
play devil's advocate all the time.
Hey, this one was fire. My goodness.
Yeah.
I'm hot. I'm sweating, fam.
Now, there's a lot of stuff.
You
Obviously,
went a bit too mad, bro. Jackson.
I'm a passionate guy, man. Come on.
Jax, come on, man. You got to do it, man.
quickly, Arsenal. You lot got Olympiacos next round. Quickly, what's your quick thoughts on that?
We're losing that. We're losing.
Oh no, we're going through.
We're
We're through. We're sailing that one. Sailing.
I said they knocked you out last time.
They did. They did. That's why we're sailing, bro.
We're
Nah,
losing.
no way.
It's done. It's done.
As you think.
Yeah,
Really?
we're losing.
Now you're just doing that. I know what you're trying to do. Don't try
Don't
it.
be like, I told you
We're trying to soften the blow.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I told you so.
I don't know.
Don't do
Olympiacos
that.
are good though.
Yeah, that's-
Who knocked us out
Olympiacos are
last
good
year?
though.
Who knocked us out last year?
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
point. But you know,
okay,
it's a new year, it's
Am I
a new
really
day.
suffering? Are we better than last year? So what in your mind makes you think that we'll do better than last year? If we're
Yes,
worse
we
than
do.
when we were last year, why?
No, you guys
We'll-
should do
we'll do it,
Olympiacos,
man.
man. as well.
You should
You
be
guys
there.
should do the
We should.
Who got locked out by
We're talking about our-
Limburg in charge or something?
The team will not beat
Nah,
us.
Arteta still.
That team
Yeah,
will not beat us.
fair enough.
You guys
It's
put-
early
Bring it back
doors, man. He's had a bit of time with the team. I don't know, man. I think it'll be a different match to the last year one.
I think
still.
if you
From the
guys play
time I
way you
saw
want, you lose.
David Luiz and these men laughing on the pitch when they lost to City, they are not winning a trophy. They're not winning
I know,
Europa League.
trust
Yeah,
me,
no,
guys. Those players,
B-Tech
man,
male
those
mentality is
players,
still
man.
They're not.
Those
That's
players,
the
man.
mentality. That's the mentality that I just. Nah, man. Nah.
Quick
Nah,
question.
those players, man.
Quick question, guys. You see City, yeah? I was watching another podcast, and obviously they've gone 20 wins in a row. Fam, they can win the whole lot. If they do, I think Fergie, that whole thing's wiped away. If they win all 4 trophies, which is a big possibility, I'm actually scared, fam.
I think they've already secured 2 in the Premier League and the EFL
League
Cup.
Cup.
They will be Tottenham.
They're not
Um,
winning the Champions League,
The
man.
Champions
Why
League,
not, fam?
I don't
They're
think-
not winning the Champions
Why
League.
you-
Man.
Now they
Bet
can't.
me today, bro. Let's go.
You know why? They normally don't
That's
because around
City's
around
voodoo,
this time-
fam.
around
And
this time,
Jerry,
Kevin De
I can
Bruyne
see them
usually
winning
gets
the
injured.
3 trophies they won before.
Oh, as what did you say?
Around this time, Kevin De Bruyne normally gets injured. That's why they don't win the Champions League.
Nah, but the
It hasn't
system's still
happened
there.
before.
No, don't
The
say that.
system's still there.
Don't-
But
Let's
the
not say
system's
that.
still there. Gundogan has stepped up a lot, and you know, this season it's not really been about the Bruyne.
No, but when it comes to Champions League, that's where they always fall short because they win the EFL, yeah, and then Kevin De every single time.
Oh man,
This is
man.
where they
What?
need.
He played last
I
season.
know, man. Darn
He played
that
last
player.
season.
Darn that
He
player.
played last
No,
season.
but that's like saying, if Messi doesn't play, oh well, the system should carry it. Like
Yeah, I mean, the system is the most important. Darn that
if
system.
Messi doesn't play, the system should just carry on. Yeah, come on, man.
Nah, I'm messing around.
Oh,
I'm messing around.
system too.
But yeah.
We got Darren. Obviously, I'm in a group chat with Darren. He's saying unless a girl gets back to his best, they ain't winning the Champions League.
I don't know.
I
I
think-
think good.
Yeah, I feel girls a big
Because-
miss.
Man. Big miss, man.
It's not as
Yeah,
important to their system as someone like De Bruyne is.
But De
Yeah.
Bruyne played there last season. That's what I'm saying. He played in the league against Manchester League. They played against Lyon. I remember he even scored that equalizer. You can't say because of De Bruyne he's injured. He played and
No,
he
but
lost.
this is what I'm trying to say. Every single season, when it comes to around this time after EFL Cup, De Bruyne gets an injury, right? Every single from since
I
he's
think
joined the
what
club,
Jesse's saying, he was
always
fit. He was
remember.
fit at that time.
But he was
And
fit.
I
That's
get
what
that.
he
I'm
was
trying to
fit last
say,
season.
I get that. I'm saying that it's not only in those games where you need. It also affects you in other places. Where, for example, other players might have been playing. He might have been able to get a rest and so on, or he might have been playing the other players. So it affects your continuity in that sense.
Yeah, I hear
I
that.
just think
Every
the
season
defense-
happens.
That makes sense.
I've seen
That
the
makes sense.
difference
That
in
makes
Man
sense.
City this season in terms of defense.
They've
had
adjusted.
very
They've adjusted the
good
system.
defense.
Yeah, they have.
Defensively, they've been very good. That's why I think this could actually be their year, like because defensively they've improved. Look at the clean sheets they're doing. So
All right,
Yeah,
well,
but-
Jesse, send me your Monzo, man. Like, stop playing, bro. Come on.
Jesse's speaking too much sense, fam.
no,
That's what you get for listening to Jax. He starts to speak
No.
sense.
This is my own ability. The Jacks don't. I think they'll win. Honestly
joking.
speaking, I actually think they'll win the 3 trophies though. I think they'll win EFL Cup, FA Cup, and the Premier League again. I'll be real.
Yeah, you
The Rangers
wouldn't
are
get
good
that
too.
still.
I want
I
to
can see that one. Domestic treble, yeah. I could definitely see
Wait,
that.
wait. As you want them to win the country.
I want to see them win 4.
Yo,
Like, I want to see. I like.
You know,
seeing
the things I
something
know as so well. I know as so
I like
well.
seeing, like-
As loves football. He loves the way City plays. He thinks everyone should play like Pep.
Yeah,
But he
well,
loves
yeah.
it. He loves it. Which is why
I
we're
love,
arguing
like,
about these
seeing-
systems and stuff.
Guys,
He loves the
can I
system.
ask a quick question?
I get it. I get this, fam. I get
Guys,
that.
can
I
ask
love
a
it
quick
too.
question? Why is Ricky so sad?
I listen. You're in about 9 rounds.
Ricky said he don't want to talk to
because
you.
Ricky is
Ricky said he don't want to talk to me though, but I say, yo.
Ricky that's why.
yeah, man.
I'm
I'm sorry,
shattered,
but
I'm shattered.
like I said, I try
man.
to keep this as an hour, but you know, it goes on.
I've been working today, you know, man.
I know,
I
but
work.
I need to be up like 7 o'clock.
I'm saying. Right, you know, when you lot start going, I just have to sit back and just
Yeah,
wait.
just let it roll.
So
It
next
is
time,
what it is.
I'm gonna come with structure, and I'm telling you guys next week if we do
You
this
said
again.
this last time.
I know.
I love
You said that last time. Don't say it again, Jerry. Don't
All
say
right,
it
cool.
again.
But this is up to you, lot. So wait, you guys don't moan then if it's gone over then.
When it goes over,
Nah,
yeah.
I'm not more than that, but so I enjoy this one. I enjoy arguing with Ricky and Az because I see them get frustrated and I love it.
You get frustrated.
What
it is, yeah?
Az is a bit more composed.
I know it is, yeah.
I get
A
frustrated.
bit.
What is
As his composure at his levels, bro. I said,
Fam,
gonna be in a
You know what
full-fledged
it is,
fight
you
with
like-
him, and he'll be like, "Yeah, it's calm though. It's calm." Alright, bro.
fam, you know what it is, yeah? You got just a point, and at the end of the argument, Jax would just come with the one he started with.
Set you off.
Yeah, that's
Something
like,
like that, bro.
we're always spoken about.
Told you the gaslight, bro.
But
The
you need to
gaslight.
know when I'm trolling and when I'm being serious, fam.
But it's hard.
No,
It's still-
I can
Let's
tell,
go
bro,
take
but
a
the thing is, it's like Jesse and Jerry don't clock that you're trolling, and then they carry on talking. It's like, oh my
Listen,
god.
we've had this.
I'm
We've
like,
had this
oh
problem.
my
Listen,
god.
we argue in the house all the time, fam. Like them two.
No.
When I said Marshall's about to get top goal score, they start busting up. Like, they
Jax
make
has got your number, bro.
I'm used to
Jax has
this.
got your number, bro. He's got your number.
No.
He's got your number, bro.
Jerry,
He sends you
Jerry-
guys down lines, bro. He sends you guys doing runs through channels and stuff, bro.
With the whole Ollie thing, it's like it's me versus them two, fam. I swear down. They're Ollie in forever.
I'm not.
No. You are.
No, I defend them a
First
lot.
thing you say. Yeah, go on.
I just defend them a lot because I feel sorry for him because I don't think he's as bad as everyone makes it out. I've
Yeah.
said in the live today. You know, I've had to say
Don't
today
go for him.
that if you can get rid of him and get another top manager, then okay. Like, why would you not
I've
do that?
already said. That's what I'm saying. I already said if he doesn't secure
Oh, I
his
thought
target,
we gun him
go.
too much, fam.
he can go, man.
The way we
Hey,
gun
even
him, I
in
feel
Champions
sorry for
League,
him.
bro,
I
I
can't
said
lie.
he can go. Jerry, did I not say he can go
It's
in
true,
Champions
it's
League?
true.
But he's kind.
Bro.
That's what I said. He kind of redeemed himself when we was, for God's sake, we was talking about winning the league title. That must mean something. Like, come on, guys. Man.
It's not as bad.
It wasn't as bad.
Let me wrap
Yeah,
up there.
yo, boys, I got to shoot off. My battery's about to die.
Quickly,
as well,
quickly.
man.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
cool,
wrap up.
cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gareth Bale looks like he's back. Shout out to Jose and Tottenham. Liverpool v Chelsea on Thursday. Race for top four is back on. And yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap up there. Thank you for coming to episode 4 of the Sleeping Giants podcast.
My first one.
Yeah. Again, next week we'll be back. Hopefully, it's under an hour. Or if you guys enjoyed the long videos,
If
let us
Az
know.
is in there, it's going to be 2 hours again because me and Az will go again.
Yeah, I'll limit the times. The more times I attend this thing.
Yeah. Same. It's my first one. Man. I wasn't even
First one, yeah.
So yeah, guys, we're back next week, probably Sunday, Monday. Just follow us on the IG so you know when I update on the Twitter, the handles on the screen. Yeah, Ricky's Twitter and Daniel's Twitter are on the screen. Jax, you're on Twitter. I don't know.
Tell him to follow Jack's Financial, get some investment advice. That's why I talk with more sense.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap up there. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.